We're here.
Quan, you look so cute.
Thanks.
Hi, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day if you're watching this live. This is my displacer cat that was in my hand. Welcome to Threeflings. I'm Jess. I am your GM. And tonight we are playing Swamped by Jessica Ross from Volume 1 of the UNCAGED Anthology. Let's introduce our Threeflings, starting with Wendy B.
That's me. I am going to be, and I am playing Idara, who is our resident fighty-bitey tiefling. I guess if you're new here, she doesn't have magic tiefling stuff. She has some other nonsense that you will probably see over the course of the adventure.
Yeah. Next up is Jess.
Hi, I'm Jess Pack. I'm playing Euphoria, the tiefling bard.
And lastly, never leastly, Ink.
Hi, my name is Ink. I am playing your slightly stupid, but also stupidly in love with everything, Ophelia. Also, I'm losing my voice, so if you see me mute myself and or hack something up, that's why.
Yay, all the tieflings are sick.
Yay!
You guys gave me the ick.
From across the country, we all got each other sick.
We're doing good.
Anybody want to do a quick and dirty on last week's Threeflings?
Oh, is my webcam out of focus? I'll work on that.
I don't remember what happened.
That's
good. Oh, it was.
Well, you signed a deal.
Stupid boy and the ghosts.
Right.
Stupid boy and the ghosts and the Furies. Stupid boy, the ghost, and the Furies. And I remember because it was the only reason I was allowed to use Cloud of Daggers.
Yeah. And then at the end of it, the Furies were like, hey, we were in the middle of like enforcing a law, and you got in our way, so you owe us now. And we were like, that seems fair, and now we have a list of names we have to kill. It's probably fine.
It's okay.
But hey, we have a perk now.
We do.
Tieflings, probably fine.
Probably fine.
We can't die for a whole year now, so now there's a plot reason why we can't die.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, so thank you to Death's agents for giving us a reason to keep the Tiefs alive. So, speaking of being agents of death.
Oh boy.
When you had first, you were told that the info would appear the next day. And you had been on your way to Briar Glen when you ran into Orestes and all of his nonsense to see Adara's good friend Nell, who lives in a swamp nearby.
Oh.
Lives in a swamp called Briar Glen. Well,
okay.
Really, Briar Glen is next to a swamp, not in the swamp. And after you healed up at the temple, went on your way, we're traveling a bit, you wake up and Adara on your blade, or on the leather straps from your, was it rapier?
Scimitar.
Scimitar, that's what it was. You see burned in the names Malion.
I should write these down.
Yari. I'll put them in chat for you.
Okay.
And Murgis.
Murgis. Oh, that's a good
Murgis.
That's a fun name.
Write it on the back of this health insurance envelope.
And if anybody wants to play along at home, those are Adara's names.
They're just her family names. It's like in certain countries where, like, once you get a middle name, you get like everyone's first name before you.
Ophelia.
Hi.
On the blade of your scythe, you see the names Landon, Baron von Yvain,
Ooh,
and Gretzel. I don't know why
Pretzels.
I put Murgis with it, but there we go.
Gretzel's pretzel stand.
And Euphoria, yours is a little bit different.
yes it is.
You see tattooed on your arm the names Sloan, Renan Starr, and Andes.
Okay.
Use code Ophelia for 15% off at Gretzel's Pretzels.
It's kind of funny that the name is Sloan too, because I mentioned this earlier. Ophelia came from a campaign that I ran a couple years ago, and she was an NPC, and the main NPC in that story's name was actually Sloan, so that's kind of funny.
Oh, nice.
Nice!
Well, now you get to kill a Sloan.
We have to make sure we're killing the right one, though.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, these are all names from the Uncaged Anthology. I didn't make any up.
Gosh.
I thought you were going to say that they were like writers from the Uncaged Anthology.
No!
I was like, oh,
God.
no! I was like, who the frick is Gretzel? I'm sorry.
Some of them were even offered up by their writers.
Nice.
So, how do you react seeing these names on your body and your weapons?
I mean, like, it's not like it's unexpected, so I'm assuming that we were just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I feel like Adara's pretty, like, unsurprised. It's just like, all right, I gotta remember these.
It's not like you can forget them. They're right in your hand.
Yeah, but, like, it'd be good to not have to check the sword after every new person we meet.
Hello, nice to meet you. Are you... No, we're good.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, why do you ask? It's like, no reason.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm imagining that it looks like Euphoria has like a list of X's on her forearm. Like some bad decisions were made while she was out drinking.
Oh no.
So, I mean, it is what it is. She's not like very happy about it, but also it's punishment for doing bad, so
this is what we get for trusting men.
This is what we get for trusting ancient elves running through the forest screaming.
Like, technically, we didn't have to take this deal. If this is an in-character conversation, Adara's like, we did this. Like, we opted into this.
No, it was so reasonable.
I, the player, I'm like, we opted into this.
Yeah, it's like a shopping stuff going. They're like, do you want to opt into emails? And then you accidentally hit yes.
Immediate regret.
Yeah.
Oh. So, Adara, you've heard from your friend Nell that the mayor of her town a while ago fell into a coma. And now there's a new mayor, just like in your correspondence with her. And it's kind of a weird news. The mayor's in a coma. Nobody can wake her up. Anyway, how are you?
As you do. All right. Honestly, that probably gets filed away as just like a weird fact about this place we're going.
Okay. And she ends her letter, as she does with all of them, with the phrase, "Don't let the hag ride you."
Oh no.
There's a joke to be made there somewhere. I'm just not gonna
probably like a letter or 1 letter ago or so after we interacted with our first hag, Adara just like responded to that part being like too real.
Too soon.
Yeah.
So after a bit of time, you get to Briar Glen. It lies on the edge of a dense swampland. Old but well-maintained buildings line the main road through town. And as you approach the border of the town, a smiling hill dwarf, not your friend, greets you. I mean, not to say she won't be your friend eventually. Just, she's not now.
Mortal enemy.
While many townsfolk eye you with suspicion. Just as greetings, travelers. Blah. I'm Mayor Ilda Glenhill. Welcome to Briar Glen. Have you come here to help?
Nell didn't ask us for help, right? Like,
No.
we're just coming
You're
to
just
say
buds.
hi? Why are
Yeah.
we here?
Because it was on the way and you wanted
Oh, okay.
to say hi to a friend.
Okay. Then Adara
Because you asked me to give Adara a friend, so I gave her a friend.
Yeah, no, I because like
We're not
part
good
of
enough for you.
no, part of her class is that she knows like people in every city we go to, or like part of her background. So it was like we could do something. But yeah, okay. So then Adara would probably say like, "Oh, no, we're just here visiting a friend."
She goes, oh, well, I know everyone in town. So who are you here to see, my dears?
No.
And at that, she kind of hesitates and goes, oh, dears, you better come inside. She leads you to an old, beautiful building near the center of town and ushers you inside. Can I get you anything to drink? A cup of tea? Scotch?
At this point, Adara's just giving her a look, like,
What?
no.
Can I tell us what's going on first? If there's bad news, you might as well just spit it out.
Well, I have bad news about your friend, my dear. Something that's been affecting the former mayor as well as several other townsfolk has apparently affected her. She, well, she just kind of sits and stares and doesn't talk to anybody nowadays.
You said this is the same thing that affected the mayor?
Well, the mayor's much worse off. She seems to be in some sort of trance. And I'm not sure if it's connected. We have this barrier between town and the swamp, you see. And I've heard rumors that Nell and some of the other folks, some of the other ladies in town were going into the swamp at night, but they shouldn't be able to pass the barrier. But, well, apparently somehow they did, and now all Nell can do is sit and stare. All Arafira can do, our former mayor, why I took charge, is just lay there fast asleep, which is, well, she's much worse off than your friend Nell, so thank heavens for Nell's safety at least. Sometimes she talks a bit, but some of the other townsfolk are the same way. I'm so sorry you came here to see your friend, and I have bad news for you.
Do you
Who
know
else
what they
was
were?
with her?
Well, I'm not quite sure. I mean, no one's supposed to be able to go into the swamp at all, honestly. But she might have gone alone. She might have gone with her friend. Her husband, Tjal, says that he didn't go, that he hasn't seen anything, just that, you know, he woke up and all she would do was sit and stare in the chair and occasionally mutter some strange words. But he's so exhausted taking care of her that I didn't want to bother them too much. They put up the barrier, the Pernin family, the previous mayor's family put up a barrier to keep folks safe from the swamp. It's awful dangerous in there.
Is it known for causing trances?
Well, no, generally you just walk up to it and bounce right off.
No,
It
the
keeps
swamp.
this. Well, I don't know. Nobody's been into the swamp in generations, you see.
Like dangerous because there's something in the swamp, or is it just dangerous because it's a swamp and you can kind of just get down?
I think the Pernins would know more about that than I would. I'm the first non-Pernin to be mayor in generations and generations. And honestly, I'm only mayor because our Afira is in a coma, and I happen to be a bit handy with a sword. So I think folks just thought, well, let's put the dwarf in charge. So, but the Pernins, they've got powerful magic. So they set up the barrier to keep the dangers out and keep the townsfolk out here where it's safe.
Do you know if any hags are in the area?
Oh, you've heard that old phrase, don't let the hag ride you. That's just something that we say.
So there aren't any hags in the area?
Well,
Is that what you're saying?
I've never heard of one. I mean, we tell the children to beware the blue hag and all of that, but it's pretty much just, how you folks might say, go with the gods or take care of yourself. We say, don't let the hag ride you.
You said there's a blue hag that you tell your children about? Do you mind
Oh, no,
elaborating?
a boo hag.
Oh, boo hag, excuse me. Do you mind elaborating? I've never heard of a boo hag.
Well, I don't rightly know if there is one, honestly, but
Indulge me, if you will.
well, they used to say back in the day there was some kind of wishing well in there, and there might have been a hag that looked after it. I'm not quite sure, but something just to scare the kiddies with.
All right. Oh, where do the I beg your pardon, Perdnans
Oh, the Pernins, yeah, they
live?
They live in the big manse just down the road a bit.
What time of day is it?
I'd say it's morning.
Cool. Is it all right if you'd be able to make an introduction?
Oh yeah, sure. I can tell folks that you're here investigating what's happening to Arafira and the other girls, and I'll let it known that anybody should tell you what you need to know.
Santa's right, you do kind of sound like you're from Minnesota, like, oh,
I
don't you
don't
know?
know where it came from, but apparently this is what dwarves sound like today.
Don't you know?
Yeah. Idara just kind of turns to Euphoria and Ophelia and goes like, I don't want to leave until I know Nell's okay.
Well, if you want to see your friend Nell, I'm not sure if you have her address, but she's well, if you go just past the Pernins, you'll see her house with Tial's next door.
Thanks.
Imagine not knowing your friend's address and trying to send them mail.
Right?
Well, I think at one point you would just say like the name of someone in the town, right? Like with Pony Express or something. This is me being uneducated about mail history. And Mirsale and Briala, they live across the street from there. If you want to check in on them as well.
How is there like a range of the women that are affected, or are they all around the same age?
Oh, no, can't really see anything in common other than that they're female. They're not even friends.
How many people have been infected or affected so far?
Well, this is a small town, so quite a few. I'd say 5.
Okay. Let's go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, shall we mosey?
Shall we
Well, I'm
mosey
sorry
back?
to be the bearer of bad news, and I do hope that you find something and can help sweet Nell. Don't let the hag ride you, ladies.
Can I sense motive on if this is actually a good person or if she's secretly like evil
Yeah.
somehow? I feel like Adara would.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you just say don't let the hag ride you, Ophelia's just like piggyback ride.
Sorry, it's not sense motive. It's an insight check in D&D, and that's
Right, it's not Pugmire. It's what?
8.
8? You get that she legit has concerns about the swamp.
Okay.
But other than that, she seems nice.
Okay. For now.
Can't wait till we fight Shrek at the end of this adventure.
Didn't actually sort out my dice. I had to dig around for a d20. All right, let's go.
I just wonder if you like rolled something other than a d20 and like, oh yeah, I got a 12. Oh wait, hold on.
All right. So, are you going straight? Are you going to see Nell, or are you going to the Pernan's place?
I think Idara would vote to see Nell, but like we do currently have the active mayor like with us to give introductions, so maybe the other place might make more sense. Team
Well,
thoughts?
it's entirely up to you, Adara. You can take the lead on this if you want.
I mean, like, yeah, you can just stand outside when we say hi to your friend for like all of a couple minutes.
Okay. Then yeah, she'd probably like to see her friend.
Okay. So, are y'all splitting up, or are you going to your friend, and then what's the plan?
I follow Adara.
Okay.
Yeah, I would try to keep us together to be supportive of Adara.
Okay. So you pass what is clearly the Pernan's manse. It's like much bigger than the nice house that Ilda took you into. But Ilda was still like in the mayor's house, so it was a nice house. But you see like a wealthy house. And looking around, you see some kind of townsfolk kind of eyeing you warily. You then come to the house next door. And it's smaller, but looks cozy. And approachable.
Important question. Have I met Nell's husband before?
You tell me.
I'm gonna go with yes.
Okay, then yes.
All right. Then yeah, I probably go up to the door and knock.
You see a tall but wan and tired looking man answer the door. And he just goes, "Oh my gosh, Adara," and gives you a huge hug. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah. How are you? I heard the news.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Come in. Maybe if you see her.
Maybe.
I don't.
These are my friends.
Oh,
I
hi.
just sort of point back at Ophelia and Euphoria.
I'm Tial. Please come in. And he takes you into a sitting room with a fire. When you enter the room, you see a woman in a rocking chair who you recognize as your friend Nell. And she doesn't even stir. She just stares directly ahead, eyes glazed and unfocused. As Tial moves around her, goes, "Nell, look, Adara's here." "Nell? Adara's here."
Hey,
I'm sorry, she's been like this.
yeah. I go over and just sort of like take Nell's hand and kind of like, I know her eyes aren't like focusing, but I sort of go into where I think like her line of sight should be, and just kind of go like, hey.
She focuses on you and says, kind of grips your hand and says, if she dies, we die. And then relinquishes your hand and goes back to looking unfocused.
I turn.
Okay.
I just look at Tiel. How did I already forget his name?
Tiel.
Teal.
And I look at him in alarm. Just.
And he goes, yeah, she does that sometimes. It's unnerving.
Has she said that before?
Mostly when folks touch her. Like, I don't know who she's talking about, but yeah, it's terrifying.
Okay.
And you can give me a perception check if you want.
I would want. Thank you. I have advantage.
No, forget it. I don't want to do it.
I don't want to perceive. Ugh. Bad.
Why
and
would I
worse.
want to notice?
Did you use your fairy luck?
I have not used my fairy luck yet. So, question. So that's you get to re-roll a check. If you had advantage the first time, do you still have advantage the second time?
Sure.
That's a really good question. Yeah.
All right. Using the other 2 d20s I have. Okay, fine. 17.
Okay. You see that there's mud on her shoes, and it appears to have been like recently caked on.
Okay. What I would like to do is I would like to walk up and like kind of like comfortingly like put a hand on Adara's shoulder and then put one on Nell's shoulder, and I'd like to use my invocation gaze of 2 minds to see like what if she's like seen anything through her eyes.
Okay.
It essentially says that if I'm on the same plane as a humanoid, I can use my action to maintain connection and see through other creatures' senses.
Okay.
Like, so not just like sight. That's what I did with the people with the one illness a couple times ago. I'm gonna do it here too.
So when you do that, you feel physically drained and exhausted. And you're struggling to focus, but you have something really important to say and can't quite get it out.
Okay.
But also you're just, you have something to do, but you're so tired.
Okay. As I'm like existing through Nell's senses, can I like hear stuff going on in the background? Like if some like
very
if her husband's
faintly.
like okay, and then
it's like fuzzy.
Are her eyes like an unfocused camera lens kind of, or like can she like focus at all, or can she not see at all?
They're unfocused. It's like when you take your glasses off and you're as blind as me, you're kind of seeing like fuzzy doubles of everything.
Okay. And okay, so I'll keep that in mind, and I'm just gonna like release her shoulder and release Adara's shoulder like the same time.
You can give me an Arcana check if you want, since you're right over there.
Oh hell yeah, baby!
Also, Ink, is the hand on Adara's shoulder like purely for flavor, or can she also see what Ophelia sees when she does that?
No, it's only for me.
Okay.
It was more like so her husband doesn't just watch me, someone he doesn't know walk up to it and just like touch his wife and just like kind of like dissociate for 3 minutes.
Fair.
15.
Okay. You can sense that she's enchanted.
Can I tell what kind of enchantment it is? Like if it's charm, like guile, like what kind of?
Not with 15.
Yeah.
Let me see. It's definitely enchantment magic,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a charm. It appears to be more like a magical stasis.
Ooh.
Yes?
I can figure out exactly what it is if you would like, because I have identify.
If you want to give me 10 minutes.
Yeah, if you give me 10 minutes, I'll do it.
It's just like, excuse me,
It's-
Teal, can I just stay with
Yeah,
your wife for
Teal.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
Jazz is right, too. This is the implication that just makes Ophelia dissociate for 3 minutes straight.
Is that gonna be all right, or do you not want me? I can do it. I can. So there's two ways we could do it. I can just spend my spell slot, and then I'll just be that one less, or I can do it as a ritual. Whatever is more comfortable for everybody in the house.
No, please, if you can figure out what's going on, if you can cure her, could you cure her?
Not with what I have thus far. I only really have the means to suss it out at this time.
Okay,
But
Shit,
it'll give
sus
us
as fuck.
I understand.
it'll give us a starting point.
Yeah, I'll back up from Nell and just to Tial be like, we're not leaving until we figure out what we can do about this.
Thank you. And he kind of sits down in a chair and goes, I'm sorry, I've just been so tired. I haven't slept much since she came back, you know.
When did she come back?
Well, you know, for almost 6 months now, she's been disappearing for 2 nights before, and then the night of, and then 2 nights after the full moon. She went right through the barrier like it was nothing. And I followed her. I tried to go through the barrier and I couldn't. But I talked to her when she came back, and she came back in the morning and didn't remember where she went. She looked at me like I was crazy when I asked her about going into the swamp, and she always looked fine. Sometimes she came back perfectly normal. Sometimes she came back like this, but only for a day or so. And this is the longest it's been. This has been almost a month now.
How close is the moon to being full? Like, can we tell, like, in terms of, like, the time frame that he's given us?
Give me a, I guess, survive.
You know what? If it's gonna take me to check it, I'm just gonna, like, ask him. I'm gonna be like, how long has it been since there's been a full moon? Because I'm dumb.
Almost a month.
Okay, so there's another one coming up then. Or already has happened, but it should be here soon. Okay.
And has she been outside recently? Does she move around?
Well, I don't know if she'll move this time. She's never stayed like this for this long.
So this has happened before?
Well, she'll come back days like this, but just for a day or two, and doesn't remember anything.
How long has this particular episode been going on?
Almost a month.
Ah. Okay.
While they're having that conversation, whenever 10 minutes is up, I'd like to know what spell she's under and learn its properties and how to use them.
Yeah.
So, like, I was kind of like, I feel like this is suggestion, but, like, greater suggestion. Like, hey,
that sounds good
take
to
a hike.
me.
The suggestion is just chill out.
You know, when there's a full moon, go take a hike. If not, just relax, baby.
Okay. So, yes, this is an interesting enchantment.
Uh-huh.
This is an enchantment that you typically see covens do.
Love that.
That's a
This
witch!
this is an enchantment to steal energy from someone while they sleep.
Oh, this
Oh,
is like the necrotic, like, drain nonsense.
yikes.
What a surprising development that nobody could have predicted.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I was just like, man, the spoons are non-existent right now.
So you can tell that Nell's energy is not being drained.
But that means that
I guess, like, from a like table perspective, if Nell's energy isn't getting drained, why is she so tired then when I touched her?
because it just could be maybe from her walking. If she's walking around the swamp for a really long time.
Yeah, but like the mud on her shoes looked more fresh than a month old, right?
Yeah, so she's
Yeah.
probably sleepwalking or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're that tired too, especially, like, if it feels like you've been that
She
drained,
was in the swamp 2 days ago, and tonight's the full moon.
Yeah. So with the barrier that's around the swamp, is it just like one side that prevents you from going into it, or can we like exit town and take like a roundabout way of getting into it that passes by the barrier?
Oh, well, the whole swamp is just sealed in like a bubble. The Pernans put it up to keep us safe.
That load of good that's doing.
So, but the town's been getting bigger lately. We did stay kind of far from the swamp, but now some loggers have been coming.
If we weren't already suspicious of hags, Idara's mind would have immediately gone to dryads.
Y'all fucking with the swamp, so the swamp's fucking with you. This is my sus face.
Yeah, so Euphoria will just go, well, I sort of know what it is. But I'm going to lie about it to TL.
Okay.
And just say that it's a suggestion spell that she stays in this current state. And then I'll just kind of give Idara a look that will obviously say, I'm not being entirely honest about this, but I'm trying to spare your friend's husband's feelings at this point in time. Because it's a little bit more serious than that.
Just a little bit.
Do you want me to give you a deception roll?
Honestly, he's pretty concerned about her, so you don't have to, and he doesn't know magic.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah. So then I will spin my little yarn for him and say, well, at least we have a starting point, and now I think it would behoove us to go visit Vernon's house, if it's all right with everybody else. Or I can go, and y'all can stay here.
I mean, I'll follow you if you go.
Idara thinks about it for a second and then says, like, yeah, I'll come too. Just sort of like gives TL a like squeeze on his shoulder as they walk out and goes like, we'll be back. You should try to get some sleep.
And he kind of puts his hands on Nell's shoulder and just goes, Nell, Idara is leaving. I should get some sleep. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
It's like the embodiment of that picture. Like, do you ever sleep? It's like, I close my eyes sometimes when I sneeze.
No.
What Euphoria will say before they go, is what you might want to do is sleep during the daytime to Tial, and say just try to stay awake tonight if you can and keep her in the house, because I think the spell might be, it's a suggestion spell, so it might be telling her to sleepwalk essentially, so keeping her in the house would probably be helpful.
Well,
Is there
I'll
a
try.
Is there a polite way to say literally chain your wife down?
I mean,
I'm gonna go with no.
no.
Well, I can lock the door, I guess.
Yeah, that might be helpful. Bar the windows and stuff. If you need a hand with that, we can come back and help you prep the house.
Yeah, I think we'll be back tonight.
You're not going into the swamp, are you?
We'll find out.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, but if that solves the problem, then
I don't even know how she survived from what I've heard of the swamp.
have you heard anything specific?
Give me a history or persuasion check, please.
Oof. Let's see. I guess I'll take that history.
Okay.
I'm not charismatic as a tiefling. I've got a cool +0 to persuasion. So 4. Not good at history either.
Well,
Look.
you know, I've heard about the Weeping River that comes out of there. People say grants wishes. I don't know why they call Weeping River that. It seems to me that you'd go there to cry, but we don't go there to wish anymore. It's too dangerous. Stay away from that river.
Cool. Thanks. We'll be back.
Don't let the hag ride you.
People
We gotta stop
fucking
saying that. Okay, DM Jess, I do have a question regarding what you sent me in Zoom.
Yeah.
When it comes to like the feeling of guilt I got from her, was it more like guilt for something she hasn't done, or like a guilt of something that like she has and or like is going to happen? Like, what kind of guilt is it?
Something she has done and or is doing, just like an ongoing weighty guilty feeling. Guilt and confusion, I would say.
Your friend's a fucking vampire.
Guilt, like perhaps she joined a coven and now regrets it.
This is her initiation process.
I love how in our universe covens are like the essentially like equivalent to like terrible sororities.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, you say our universe. We've met one coven. We met one representative of one coven.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a whole lot of reference at this point.
Well, I haven't been proved wrong yet.
It's true.
So when we get out of earshot of the house, I'm going to tell everybody about what I found out. So I'm thinking it's a hag or a coven of hags. And she's currently not being drained, which is a plus. But if the other mayor, or like the first mayor,
Zad, I want to go to Kitty Pie, don't you? Just like dies and goes into a coven.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I read that while I was stalking. So I'm thinking maybe they're currently draining the first mayor, and when she dies, that's when everybody else goes.
Yeah.
She did feel incredibly tired. And like weirdly out of focus from the world. It kind of like when you space out for like 5 minutes and then you come back to real life and you're just like, what year is it? Kind of like that.
This
Ophelia's
experience is
not
not
aware
universal.
that this is, I was gonna say, she doesn't realize it's not a universal experience.
Idara tells her.
Yeah. And but like she also feels like weirdly guilty and like heavy with just tiredness. So I think that's weird too, especially if she's not being drained of her energy.
Is she magic prone, Adora?
DM, had she done any like magic things in her life before?
Not really,
Yeah,
no.
What does your friend do?
That is an excellent question. I have very little background information on this NPC. I think we're I don't know how much DM Jess knows. I'm willing to just make it up as we go along, but
Yeah, tell us what she does. What does she do?
So she's gosh, I don't know. She's a teacher now. That's
She's
what she
a
does.
teacher
Yep, she's a teacher.
in Briar Glen.
Yep. To like all 4 children. She got sick of city life, and so that was how she and Adara bonded, was they were probably on like a recreational sports team and would just like bitch about the city for like hours after every game, and then she was finally just like, this sucks, I'm leaving to the swamp.
Fantasy intramural rugby.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what she did. And no, she had not shown any propensity for magic before this. I know, present company excluded. I don't really hang out with a whole lot of like magicians.
I'm not a magician. I'm better than them.
You think what I do is cheap parlor tricks?
It's all the fucking same.
Yeah, some of them are cheap parlor tricks. Never mind.
Thaumaturgy.
Racial bonus to cheap parlor tricks.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not a terribly long walk to the Pernan's house, correct?
No.
Cool.
It's right next door. So where are you going to go?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Just like chug over
So you go to this big, pretty house and see like a massive, heavy metal door knocker.
I'll knock.
Okay. It's opened by a man in uniform. He goes, yes. The Mayor Ilda told us to expect you. Do come in.
Thanks.
And what's everybody's passive perception again, Adara? I know yours is high.
15.
Okay.
13.
And 10? Okay. So Euphoria and Adara notice that Sorrow seems nervous.
Is that the name of the person who opened the door?
Yes.
Okay. I missed that.
I realized I didn't tell you his name yet.
I thought you were saying nervous. Is that the name of the person that opened the door?
Yes. And he goes, do come in. How may I help you?
Ophelia, you got games on your phone?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
Unless you would like me to.
you should.
Okay.
I assume this is a conversation that actually happens out loud.
Yes.
Ophelia wants to know if you have games on your phone.
Would you like me to get Madame Derona to speak with you?
We were looking to actually see the mayor herself, if you don't mind.
Oh, she's laying in her room. I'll have to get permission from her wife, Madame Dorona, for you to view her, but
that's what she said.
I could summon her to you if you would like that.
That would be mighty kind of you. We
I'll
just
be
want to assess her condition.
Of course. I'll return.
Thank you.
And he kind of flinches his way out the door.
When he's out of earshot, Adara would probably discreetly say to Euphoria and Ophelia that he's nervous about something.
Also, how?
Because she doesn't know who noticed.
Flinch through a doorway.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, just...
Kind of like... Twitchy.
But yeah, so just... He's nervous about something. I don't know what. Heads up.
I mean, to his credit, like, one of the ladies of the house might or may not be dead or dying. Jury's still out. So,
but that's not a thing to be like... That's not an appropriate reaction to that in and of itself.
I mean, if someone that, like, was in charge of me was dying, I would kind of be nervous about what I was going to do after.
I mean, to be fair...
I think there's something he knows, is just...
I don't know, I
my
don't feel
contribution.
it. I don't feel anything.
Oh, no.
After a few minutes, Sorrow returns, and a well-dressed, dark-skinned woman with her hair elegantly pulled back enters the room. And she approaches and just says, "Yes, Sorrow informed me that you were sent here by the intermediate mayor about Arafira's condition. My name is Dorona, Dorona Pernin. How may I help you?"
We were hoping to see the mayor sort of nod over at Euphoria and say, like, she's got some magic that might be able to help us know more about what's going on.
You think you could cure her?
We're working toward that.
Yeah. I only currently have enough experience with identifying spells. I can't necessarily cure them right off the bat, but it'll give us a good starting point. We just came from Nell's house.
Oh, the poor girl. She and Arafira were friends, from what I recall, recent friends, but they were starting to speak a bit.
What's the age difference between the two of them?
I'd say Nell is around Adara's age. Arafira is probably in her 40s.
Okay.
So nothing untoward. I think it was more a mentorship type thing.
Was she interested in becoming a mayor? No.
Well, I don't believe so, but everyone always comes to the Pernins for financing, so being a friend of the Pernins can get you far in this town.
Noted. Now the other mayor's name escapes.
Arafira. Oh, the new one?
Yeah, the new one.
Ilda.
Ilda told us that your family, the Piernans, are responsible for the barrier that's over the swamp.
Oh, yes. Well, even before the town was even created, we'd heard rumors of dangerous creatures surrounding the swamp. The Pernins, it's actually Arafira's family I'm married in, created the barrier to keep travelers out and hopefully keep whatever's in the swamp in and out of Briar Glen. The barrier is not unbreakable, but it serves as a warning and a safeguard for all of us. I assume if someone really wanted to break it, they could, but luckily no one has.
So, your wife is a wizard, I take it?
Oh, no.
Or studies?
Her great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother.
It seems like an awfully long time for the magic to hold up.
She dabbles just to maintain things, but it's very strong magic. It holds on its own.
The female version of a wizard is a witch.
Yeah. Take your face.
Seems legit to me.
Just like, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, totally.
I want to make her sound really studious and, butter up the company so we can go see her wife and figure this out.
No, but Arafir has always been far more interested in politics than in anything else. Politics and expansion and really putting Briar Glen on the map. It's a bit frustrating, actually.
How so?
Well, I think it's wrong to expand into the swamp. I mean, do we really need all that land?
First smart person we've met this whole time!
Yay!
Yeah!
Yeah, so I better understand. Does the swamp, surround the town, then?
It's
it
next to the town.
Okay, so it's off to one side. So if they wanted to, they could expand in the opposite direction.
Yes. But swampland tends to be good logging land, I think. Good land for the...
You can't build on it.
You can't build on it.
I know you can't build on
It's
it,
wet.
but you can cut down stuff in it.
Maybe it's
And you can build on it.
fertile?
Disney World was built on a swamp.
Yeah,
that
but
does-
that doesn't mean that you should do it. Just because you can
True.
do it doesn't mean that you should do it.
Okay, to be fair, Disneyland had concrete. I don't think these people have fantasy concrete.
I'll actually show you this is the swamp illustrated by Dungeon Secrets while we're
This is
talking about the swamp. Look how
Ooh.
pretty the swamp is.
I love Disney World.
Support your local wetlands if you have them. If not, support other wetlands.
I live in an area that's below sea level. My whole area is swamp.
Oh no.
My hometown is literally below sea level. I'm just like, yay, we live right near the Great Lakes.
My parents used to live in the Everglades, so lots of swamp.
Yeah. Y'all got all that other area, and you're going that way, like out of every other direction.
Yeah, so Euphoria's just gonna bring that up. She goes, do you really need to expand into the swamp? You seem to have plenty of good forest and materials in the areas away from the swamp.
I agree.
All right.
I
What size
absolutely
brain?
agree.
What says brain yo rocket? Extra small? What the frick?
Okay.
Do you know why she wanted to expand into the swamp specifically?
Oh, well, she's always been interested in, making a name for the town, doing more for not just the Pernans, living up to the family. They're famous for the barrier, but also, really setting herself apart from the other Pernans. And there's the neighboring towns, but if she could be a bigger town, and you can't just invade someone else's town, and there's all this untapped territory right there for the taking, and she was going to lease it out to local loggers.
Is that how the Pernans made their money? As sort of like a bank for other folks in town to start their businesses? Or
Mhm.
So
this is just back wanting to ask a really rude question. Where'd you get your seed money?
I mean, she married into the family. She probably doesn't know.
Yeah, she has no idea.
She meant the Pernans, where'd they get their seed money? But
Probably royalty somewhere in there.
probably.
like, wow, we want to expand into untapped land. And I'm like, you got 3 other sides to this town. They're like, we want trees. And I'm like, I'm sure there's more trees than just in this one spot.
But it also sounds like there are
Big
towns.
swamp.
It also sounds like there are towns in the other directions.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, you don't
Yeah.
need to go that far until you touch the other town. I bet it's like a mile. If you have all of like 5 people in your town, how much bigger do you need to get?
They have more than 5 people.
Ooh.
They have 5 people currently under the hag spell.
Would it be all right if we were able to see your wife, just to see if I can sense anything different about what might be affecting her?
She gets kind of noticeably uncomfortable. And goes, I'm not sure about that.
You'd be allowed to stay in the
Already
room.
seen her.
I would like to know why she's uncomfortable.
Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, because she doesn't know you and you're in her house asking to see her comatose wife.
Also, what would I have rolled to see, like, if I can tell why she's uncomfortable? Like, if it's a guilt thing?
That would be, oh my god, I'm in Pugmire brain. I'm like, sense motive.
Insight.
Oh,
Insight.
Insight. Okay, I got a 19.
Okay.
I want to know why this woman nervous.
Because, like, even though you have the new mayor's blessing, you're still strangers in her house wanting to see her comatose wife, which is kind of weird.
Okay, because I was like half expecting her to be like, oh yeah, she's nervous and guilty and worried.
So I rolled an 18, and with my
Okay.
plus 7, that's a 25.
You're good.
Yeah.
She goes, please, no, please follow me. And she takes you upstairs to where a woman in her 40s with reddish hair with gray streak is lying on a bed, seemingly asleep.
Okay.
She hasn't moved like that for 6 months. Sorrow turns her so she doesn't get sores, but she doesn't even seem to be getting them.
Like the player in me is like, oh, gray streak means energy sap. Also,
Yeah.
I'm like, nice.
Is her condition any different from how she was 6 months ago?
No.
Okay.
We went to bed and then she just didn't wake up. It was terrifying.
Yeah, that sounds upsetting. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You can give me an Arcana check to examine her if you want.
I was gonna say I want to walk up with my herbalism check, and I'm going to examine her and also do my gaze of 2 minds thing, so I can like look like I'm doing something more than just like touching her wife's forehead.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Arcana again.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 12.
Was that checking on what's going on with her with a 12?
Yeah, because you asked me to roll Arcana to see if I can figure out what's wrong with her.
Can't really tell. It seems similar to
Okay.
what's going on with Nell, but it's more than just enchantment.
Okay. When I touch her and gaze through her senses, like
Oh wait, no, you got a 12. You got a 12. Just kidding. You can tell. It's enchantment and evocation. It's magic on her.
Okay. When I touch her, does it feel like she's asleep? Like, do I feel like I'm asleep because I share my senses with her, or does it just seem like she's like knocked out? I can't get anything.
You feel drained, tired, asleep, lethargic. You feel like you can't move. And there's only one thought in your head. And it's, Durana, whatever it is, I'm so sorry.
Okay. Does she seem more or less tired than Nell?
So much more.
Okay. And then can she like hear us talking in the background?
Like
or
as
can
you
she,
touch her, you almost fall to the floor.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that for me. But can she like hear us in the background, or is she like
No.
okay, so she just nothing. Okay. Okay, that's really uplifting. So I will like take my hand off of her and like look at Euphoria and like give her like the eyebrows, like you should look at it too. And then that's all I'm gonna do. Also, I'm gonna take a bio break. I will be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, so Euphoria is just going to explain to her wife what she's going to do and just say, all I need to do is hold her hands and that's enough.
Enough to what?
For me to figure out what's going on. It'll take me about 10 minutes, though, so I'll need to be able to concentrate. But you can stay in the room if you'd like.
Okay, I would like that.
Yep, so Euphoria is going to pull up a chair, if there is one, sit next to the bedside, and then just have her hands over top of Elfira's.
Adara, what are you doing during these 10 minutes? Just hanging?
Probably.
Okay.
I think I'd like, is, the wife staying in the room with Euphoria? Okay. Then Idara would probably like stick around for a minute or two and then be like, I'm gonna go see if your front door answerer can answer any more questions.
And Dorona's kind of like, okay,
all right,
sure. She's like fascinated by what's going on with Euphoria and Arafira.
All right. I'd go try to find him.
You can find him pretty easily. He's in the coat area, the cloakroom, shining shoes.
Ah, okay. Just like knock on the door frame and go, hey.
Oh. Yes.
I wanted to ask you. Most of us are upstairs right now, just checking out the mayor's situation. But was there anything else you thought that it might be helpful for us to know, knowing that we're working on fixing this and we might have to go into the swamp to do it?
So you're going into the swamp? Are you crazy?
Might have to. But knowing that, is there anything you think would be helpful for us to know?
And you see him start sweating and kind of like rubbing his hands together. He goes, okay. A couple nights every month, Dorona goes into the swamp. She comes back in a trance, and I don't know what's going on with her, but the trances are getting longer, and I think she's going to fall into a coma too.
Does it seem like she remembers this?
No.
Does it line up with the full moon?
I don't really notice the moon, maybe.
Okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
I just never mind.
No, yeah?
I just hope they're both okay and things are better.
I would like to make an insight check on that.
You can give me a persuasion or intimidation check if you want.
Ooh, well,
you already know he's scared and
That's
holding
true.
something back.
I think she's trying to be nice, so we're probably going to go with persuasion. It's a +0 either way, so
Okay.
We'll see. 13?
Yeah, that was the target number.
Yay!
He goes, ugh. Okay. The night before Arafira kind of looks upstairs. So they had a huge fight for hours and hours and hours. It was so loud. They just Dorona was so mad about her expanding into the swamp, and Arafira was saying that, her family's been doing it bit by bit for generations, and she was gonna make a name for herself and go in further than anybody else, right up to or even past the barrier. And Dorona was so mad about it. And then the next day, they've never fought like that. It was scary. I mean, I try and stay out of their business. I try to be a good servant, but
do you remember any of Dorona's specific arguments for why the town shouldn't expand into the swamp?
She said it wasn't safe. She said it was wrong. I'm scared of the Weeping River, and she knew about some legend, something about, I don't remember.
Like a boo-hag?
That was it. She seemed to believe that legend.
Very good to know.
Yeah, I can't remember what she said.
All right. Thanks.
It was so long ago.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is helpful. Thanks. And I'm gonna leave.
Okay. Euphoria.
Yes.
So you were checking on what the magic was.
Yes, I was doing identify.
Okay, this is the exact same thing, but at a much, much, much higher level.
Love that. By love, I mean hate. I hate that. Okie dokie.
Or like it was wielded carelessly.
Oof. Like out of anger?
Like you meant to cast a first level spell and you accidentally cast it at 5th level because you screwed up.
You're a hag fighting with your wife, and then you accidentally curse her into a coma, and then to cover it up, you gotta curse the whole town.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Gwen! Yikes! Okay.
Yeah, like Zan said in chat, it's about relationships. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, oof. Okay. Yeah. So, Euphoria is also gonna lie to this lady and be like, so it's a very strong suggestion spell. So we have a place to start.
Well, who would cast a spell on her?
Is Adara back in the room at this point?
Yeah,
so Euphoria's just gonna keep...
Behind her, Adara's just like...
Yeah, so Euphoria's just gonna stroke her chin and also just start spinning a yarn. Yeah, so we've dealt with not quite exactly the same situation in another town, but we ended up finding that the source was a magic user, and they just got into a disagreement, and then this happened. So again, this is just a starting point, and I don't really have other information, but if this happened in the swamp, then like she ended up this way after coming out of the swamp, then we're obviously going to have to figure out a way to go in.
Well, I don't think Arafira ever went into the swamp.
No money boots or anything when she came back? Or when she was doing her day-to-day activities?
Well, she paid people or took money from people who wanted to expand, but Do you think you need to go into the swamp?
I believe so. What
And
would
she
she do
pulls
to...
a pearl from her pocket and puts it in your hand. Please cure my wife. This will protect you.
From
This is
the
gonna-
swamp?
Yeah, is this how we get in and out of the swamp? Is this part of what she does or did when she would like strengthen the barrier for the swamp?
This will help you get through the barrier.
Idara will kind of pipe up at this and say, is there anything past the barrier you think we need to worry about? Like anything specific that will help us?
Give me a history or a persuasion check, please.
History.
You can do it, and you still have fairy luck because you didn't use all yours.
I do. I've got one. 16.
Yeah, was that history?
Yeah.
Okay. She says, well, I know about the Weeping River. Before it was called the Weeping River, it used to be called the Dreamer's Pond. People used to present an offering and make a wish. The pond didn't grant wishes, but it gave people the power and energy to grant their own. The deeper into the swamp, the town expanded. The larger the pond grew. Do we need to pause for a second?
Yeah, I want to fix everyone's cameras because
Okay. Ink did a switcheroo.
Ink did a switcheroo. They are not feeling well, so they'll be back in a bit, but we will keep playing. And in the meantime, gotta just reorganize.
Feel better, Ink. We love you.
All right.
Okay.
We're good enough.
She goes, the deeper into the swamp, the town expanded, the larger the pond became until it outgrew the island. And now it cuts through the entire swamp. We don't make wishes on that river. We learned long ago how dangerous it is, and by the time you see the river, it's too late. Anyone who ventures that deep into the swamp is overcome with grief, and they start weeping. If you make it out of the swamp before their tears turn to blood and they die in anguish.
That's metal as fuck.
All right.
Jesus.
So I missed the first part of that because I was moving cameras around. Are there like signs of the river so we know to not go that way, or just like it exists somewhere in the swamp and if you see it, it's too late?
It's so big that it goes through the entire swamp now. You'll probably hear it before you see it.
Okay.
You'll hear the weeping. By the time you see it.
All right. Good to know.
All right. How long have we been here?
In her house?
Yeah.
Probably like an hour. I'd say it's early afternoon at this point.
Well, we got enough daylight to burn. How big is the swamp before we like actually leave her house?
It's big.
Mile, 2 miles, 5 miles.
So I don't know. I've never been in there.
If you had to guess based on the positions of the surrounding towns,
I'd say a few miles.
like 10 max, or
5 to 10, probably.
all right.
So
Thank you for your time.
Okay. That's what I was not clear on.
And if this is all the information that we need, then we can leave the house and talk openly.
Yeah. I think Adara is just sort of like, I would like to leave this house. We need to regroup about some stuff.
Yeah, so let's do that.
All right. We politely excuse ourselves and leave the house.
Yes.
Just, thank you for coming. Don't let the hag ride you.
May the gods
Yeah.
be with you. And yep. Yeah, we're not returning the This is Jess. We're not returning.
I mean, Adara
Town
probably
saying. Oh.
Oh yeah, no. We probably Adara would say we might be back before we leave, just in case, because like if we have a follow-up question or something, don't want to be rude. So
yeah,
everyone's been warned. But yeah. Cool. Let's find a spot to talk.
Yeah. Is there a spot to talk away from everybody's house that's kind of private-ish?
Yeah, you know that since Nell is sick, that the school is empty and there is a big shady tree where she used to hold classes outside, right outside the school.
Oh, punches right in the feels.
Oh no.
So it's got some rope swings on it, and yeah, you can go there.
All right.
Euphoria's gonna adjust her to a swing. Have a sit.
Adara sits on a swing.
All right. What did you find out?
All right. So look around to make sure nobody's like eavesdropping on us. The night before the mayor went into her coma, she and her wife had a huge fight, apparently, arguing specifically about expanding into the swamp. Her wife thought it was a bad idea, mentioned the boo hag as one of the reasons why it was a bad idea. And then the next day, coma. That's my update. Also, the other important part of my update is that the wife is going into like the thing that used to happen to Nell, where she was in a trance for a bit and then came out of it and didn't remember. She's in that stage of the thing that's happening.
All right. So the wife told me that she wasn't up and walking around doing the trance stuff. So that's interesting. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Because that's not the story that the wife was spinning.
Well,
saying that she didn't leave the house.
Two different people, right?
Fira hasn't left the house.
Yeah.
Has not. Okay, she has not. All right.
Yeah.
I thought. Go ahead.
So her situation is different because hers was just sudden onset coma, and for the other two that we've like interacted with so far, it's been presumably the trend will continue, but it's been full moon, possibly. Doorman was unsure. They go into a 5-ish day trance and vanish, go into the swamp and come back and don't remember it. And for Nell, it extended beyond that recently. And so that might also happen soon to the mayor's wife.
All right. Well, she's been in this for 6 months, so it's already happened if it did happen.
No, I'm saying the wife might get worse. The mayor has been in a coma for 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if she was in this, like, if her beginning stages were like Nell's, then she's already past that point.
She's saying Dorona might end up like Nell.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't realize that both of them were affected. I thought it was just the one. Sorry, I missed that. That was my bad.
Yeah, so the mayor's situation, as far as we know, is that she at no point had like the stuff where she like wandered into the swamp for a bit and then came back and didn't remember. Like nobody said that the mayor has done that.
Okay. Yeah,
Dorona
sorry, that was my bad.
Dorona has been doing that at some point starting a little while ago. And based on how it went for Nell, Idara is inferring that like Dorona will probably start off that way and then get worse and also fall into a coma. A la Nell.
Sorry, that was a whole Just Pack misunderstanding.
No worries.
So I will also share the fact that Afira's thing is definitely like, this seems like an accidental higher level magic thing that's affecting her. So I'm not sure what that means, but it ain't good. And the sooner we can get into the swamp, I think the better.
As you're talking,
oh yeah,
you both hear sticks cracking, and it oops.
Before he's just gonna turn around and go, "Can I help you?"
And you see a small little kid kind of tumble out of the bushes.
Were you spying on us?
Because usually nobody's here since school's out of session.
I look around for more children.
You don't see any kids.
Okay.
I just came here to read. Are you friends with Miss Nell?
Yeah. How long were you there?
I just came to read. Are you do you know about the hag?
No, so we're new in town and we don't know anything about the hag. Do you know about the hag?
Miss Nell told us all about the hag.
Do you mind telling us what Miss Nell told you?
She kind of stands up like she's reciting.
This is super cute.
Before Briar Glen was built, there was a creature in the swamp. She drained energy from travelers to sustain herself, but she left them alive and enchanted them so they could only remember what happened through a dreamlike haze. And once the town was built, she visited Briar Glen under the cover of night to latch onto someone and drain their energy. But she didn't kill if she didn't have to. But those she drained were never the same. Years later, a drow woman entered the swamp to find this creature and never returned until the barrier was built. No. She didn't return. Stop. Until the barrier was built, many said they caught glimpses of her wandering the town at night. Since then, we all share protection and say, don't let the hag ride you.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, like we'll both clap.
And she curtsies. When Miss Nell wakes up, will you tell her I did a good job?
Of course, sweetie.
What's your name?
My name is Mercedes.
That's a very pretty name.
Thank you.
It is not on my list. Okay.
Why? That's just cruel.
It started with an M, and I remembered that the names I needed to remember mostly started with M's.
Oh, damn. This kid tells us a nice story, and you want to...
I just want to know how attached I can get.
Yikes.
All right.
Are you going to be here long, or should I go read somewhere else?
Well, we have a couple of questions for you. So, about the story you told, and the drow woman, you said? Does your story say exactly what she looks like?
A drow.
Mm.
She's got
Does she have like
gray skin and long white hair.
anything about her clothes or like jewelry? Do you know anything about that? Or does the story not talk about it?
She likes swamps.
All right. Well, thank you very much for telling us that story. And we're going to be leaving so you can come here and read.
Okay. Don't let the hag ride you.
And you. And then I'm just going to give the girl like 5 copper for giving us the story.
Oh my gosh. This is like a third of a dagger.
Oh, this kid's going places.
Oh, a girl
That's not
after
true,
your
though.
own heart. All right. Well, you take care of yourself and don't go out tonight, you hear? Because we're going to go into the swamp.
You must be really brave.
Yeah.
It's really dangerous in the swamp. That's how come there's a barrier.
Yep. So we've heard.
Yeah, but we heard that that's the way to fix Miss Nell, so we have to go in.
Okay, just promise you'll be safe and fix Miss Nell.
We will, and we'll come.
Promise.
Yeah, I'll make the pinky promise with you. We'll come see you before we leave town, okay?
Okay.
Cool.
Just give the child a fist bump and leave.
And you see she has like a massive book that she's carrying, and she has like a wooden dagger strapped to one side and a wooden
God.
sword strapped to the other.
That's
She
adorable.
likes both the
Curls up
things
in a
we
tree.
like.
What is the book that she has?
It's like heroic tales of chivalry.
Oh my god. This kid is too cute for words.
She's adorable.
Mm.
Okay.
All right. Yep. So, ready to go in the swamp?
Yeah, were you done? Do we need to find a different spot?
No. I said everything I wanted to say.
All right. Cool. Me too. Yeah, let's I'm just checking.
Plus, we can talk along the way. I mean, nobody's
true.
gonna follow us into the swamp. Everybody's afraid of it. So
I immediately check behind me to make sure nobody's following us into the swamp.
yeah, make sure the little girl does not follow us into this frickin' swamp.
Yeah.
She's just fascinated with her book.
Good.
Good.
All right. So you walk into the swamp. It's hot and wet and smells, you know how swamps kind of smell, like mucky and a little stinky.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It's not an adventure unless you get dirty.
Hot and wet and a little mucky.
Mm.
Before you get very far at all,
Joys.
you each, oh, that's fun.
Raggy.
What you doing? What you doing there, Jess?
I rolled some numbers.
You rolled some numbers.
Uh-oh.
Numbers in our favor, I hope.
Each have a spear wang into you.
Wow,
and-
you don't even get to dodge it.
Nope.
Yikes.
One of them was a 21 to hit, and the other one was a 20.
Oh, rude.
Yikes.
So, that is, I'll give the nat 20 to Adara.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. So Adara, that is 11 piercing damage.
Yikes.
And you Euphoria, that is 4 piercing damage.
Okay, I can deal with that.
And you see in the trees. Actually, you don't see. You'll have to make perception to see.
Okay.
You just know that you got hit with some spears.
I can't.
And let's roll initiative.
So my perception.
Well, one of them got a 1 on their
7.
initiative, so
That
you're
was
winning.
dumb.
Do we make our perception checks now or on our turns?
You can do it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled under a 10, so I don't think I did it.
Well, my initiative was 19. Make a perception check.
Okay,
now.
let me do that.
My initiative's a 20.
Oh my god.
Henry!
is losing his
Henry's
shit.
here. I got a 23 on perception, though, so.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, no,
So
Jess.
you see 2 yeah, I'm not even gonna roll against that because they have advantage, but you still saw through it. You see 2 bullywugs kind of embedded in the muck, getting another spear ready. And Euphoria, you're up.
Do I know anything about bullywugs? Can I talk to them in common and hope that they understand?
Everyone understands the language of the sword.
Thanks, Adara.
Dress, please.
Not what I asked.
Give me a nature check. We can see what you know about bullywugs.
Sure. Yikes, that's a whole lot of nothing. That's an 8.
I will tell you that they do not speak common,
Amazing.
but that they are sentient.
Yeah, okay, so I'm not... Wait, do I have anything? Do I have a spell that lets me understand other languages? Actually, wait.
Do you have tongues?
I do not.
Dang.
However, what I'm going to do...
I love bullywugs. I think they're so cute.
What I'm going to do with my turn is I'm going to pull this spear out of my body.
Bullywugs.
They're so cute.
Angry.
I love them. Yeah, and I'm gonna do enthralling performance.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start playing my flute to get them to stop doing what they're doing, and I'm gonna try to charm them.
Okay.
Clarifying question. How long does that take?
Doesn't it take half an hour?
minute. No, it takes a minute for me to. If I perform for at least a minute, I can attempt to inspire wonder in my audience by singing or saying a poem or dancing. At the end of the performance, I can choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet of me who watched and listened to it.
That's a lot of combat rounds.
Yeah.
God damn it. Never mind.
You can do it, but a combat round is 6 seconds.
No, all right.
So that's 10
that's
rounds.
Right. Okay, never mind. All right. So I will do... Can I do non-lethal damage to them?
Yeah.
How close are they?
I would say they are about 20 feet away. Standing in the mud.
Cool. I'm gonna step in front of Adara, so I can cast Thunder Wave. And doing non-lethal damage, so they'll have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Spell DC is 15.
They failed.
Cool.
They failed a lot.
Cool. They're gonna take 2d8 thunder damage in a hot second.
Ooh.
Non-lethal. And they're gonna get pushed. So that's 10 thunder damage that they take.
Okay.
And they're pushed 10 feet away from me.
Okay. That whomps them.
Okay.
And they're like doubled over at this point. Kind of floating in and out of the water. Pushed.
Okay.
And Adara, it's your turn.
All right. I want to just take the spear that one of them threw at me and like pull it out of my shoulder or wherever it landed, and I'm just gonna chuck it back.
Okay. Are you also doing non-lethal damage?
I don't know. They're sentient, and nobody's tried to talk to them, so probably not. I think I'm doing lethal.
Okay.
Sorry, just Pat.
It's fine. I didn't tell you, so this is on me.
That is a... Is this Dex or Strength?
This is Dex, because it is a ranged attack. It would be
Alright.
straight if you ran at it and like shoved it.
Yeah, that makes sense. In that case, it is a 20 aggregate to hit.
Yes, that
Damn.
hits.
All right.
So-
What is a spear?
This is a D6 plus your Dex.
All right. Please take 5 points of damage.
Yikes.
So you just impale that bullywug.
All right. They're too far away to bite, so that's my turn. But there's probably some swearing in Abyssal that happens.
And at that, the other bullywug looks horrified and turns, picks up its slain companion on its shoulder, and runs away.
I think technically, if it took non-lethal damage, then it's not dead. It's just unconscious, right? Because it took.
You said you were doing lethal damage.
Yeah, but it took a bunch of non-lethal first. Like I only did 4 points of lethal.
Okay,
I mean,
that's fair.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Then it picks up its unconscious companion
Okay. Make Euphoria feel a little better.
and runs away.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe they'll tell their friends about us.
Yeah, tell their friends to stay the fuck away. That was rude.
I mean, we're walking into their home. It's not really that rude.
I guess.
You walk. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, that was it. Just I guess.
So you walk a little bit further, and a thick fog rolls in. It surrounds you and fully dampens your senses. By the time it clears, you're right back where you started at the edge of the swamp.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Well, let's try this again. Well, how long we been in here?
Say like an hour.
All right, let's try this again, but with Phelan. And Euphoria is just... How much rope we got on us?
I have 100 feet of rope and a grappling hook.
All right, I got 50 feet of rope.
That is not very far into the swamp.
Nope. Okay.
We don't think there's a dryad here, right? So if I start like marking trees, nothing's gonna get pissed off.
I mean, I did it last time, and Yeaga didn't yell at me, but it also wasn't her grove, so...
Great.
I mean, I guess we should do it.
Yeah, I take
Trees
out a
on the right
dagger.
hand. Yeah, trees on the right hand side.
Okay, yeah, I take out a
Trash
dagger. I'm
just
gonna
put in
start
chat
marking
that
trees.
dryad hags would be possible, which I love.
I want to be a dryad hag. That sounds so cool. That's basically what I am.
All right.
A dry hag.
A dry hag.
Ew.
Not a lot of dry hags in a swamp.
I mean, better than a wet hag.
All right, let's try this again.
I don't know what's going on with my camera. Hi. Focus, please. Okay. So this time, with feeling,
Mhm.
you approach a barrier as you get further into the swamp. This time, you're not attacked.
Good. An improvement.
So there's the big barrier, and now there's a smaller barrier.
No, this is the big magical barrier.
So we've reached the other side.
No. You went to like, this was the outskirts of the swamp. Now there's the barrier that's in like the heart of the swamp.
Yeah, we hadn't made it to a barrier yet. This is our first encounter.
Oh, okay. All right. That's weird. Okay. Because I just assumed that the barrier was around the whole swamp and not like closer to the heart of it. Okay. Sorry, continue.
That was my bad for not clarifying earlier.
Mm.
So you gonna try and go through?
Yeah.
Can we see through it, or is it like opaque?
You can look through it. You
Can we look for bullywugs?
Or hags.
Or hags.
You don't see bullywugs. You do see a river.
All right. It's if we hear the river, right, that we start crying. Was that the gist?
Was it that if we hear the river, we start crying, or was if we...
If you see the river, it's too late.
And we physically see a river.
Yes.
Oh.
And the actual thing that makes you start crying... oh no, you made it worse.
It did. Did I fix it? No. Okay, whatever.
No.
Expensive webcams, worth every penny.
So the actual thing that actually makes you start crying is like, do we know? Is it the sound? Is it the sight of the river? Or is it like proximity?
You were not told that.
Okay. So the good news is, Idara says to Euphoria, we can see the river, and thus far we're fine.
Because we're on the other side of the barrier. We haven't poked our heads in.
Yeah.
But what we can do is look for an area where the river isn't in sight, maybe. And then also maybe, I don't know.
You also see a lot of dying plants through the barrier.
Like, do they lead in a specific direction?
Just seems to be like general dried up plants.
Huh.
So we do have a lot of rope. This doesn't have to be plan A, but I'm going to throw out there that we could basically tie a harness to you, I'm going to say.
Sure.
Send you through the barrier with me on the other side, and if I need to, I can pull you back through.
That sounds fine with me.
Okay. If you have a better idea, that is also allowed.
I don't really have a better idea.
All right.
So
That way,
Euphoria, you're going through alone?
Yep.
I figure the magical barrier means that this side of the thing is protected, so if she's in trouble,
You'll
I
just
will be
yank her
fine.
out.
Yeah, I'll be fine, and I'll get her back through to this side of the barrier where it's protected, at least for that initial pass.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's going to be a lot easier for Adara to do that than Euphoria trying to yank Adara through.
Yeah, that was exactly my rationale.
Not saying that my girl couldn't do it. She could, but she'd probably have a harder time doing it.
Mm-hmm.
With a +2 to athletics.
Yeah, I've got a +7.
Yeah.
We'll let me yank the rope.
Yes.
But yeah, so I spent some time, like, tying it into, like, a
cool
belt
harness
thing. Yeah.
Euphoria will also add her 50 feet of rope, so I can now go 200 feet in any direction.
Cool. You want to take a look at that pearl you were given?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it.
Give me a survive check on that pearl.
Survival check or Arcana?
Survival.
Interesting.
That's a nat 20, so that's 23 total.
Cool. So this is not actually a pearl. It is a rock painted to look like a pearl. And since you just have one, you get the idea that you could break it in half and you could each have one.
But
Because
does
your
that?
DM neglected to give you each one.
Oh,
Ah.
okay.
Sure.
Sure. We will do that.
It sounds like a good job for a good use for a chisel and hammer, which I
Yeah.
have.
Nice.
Cool.
To make up for her complete
was-
lack of spells, Adara has a lot of weird items.
That was really funny, Jess, because I really thought that the wife gave it because it was like a decoy and she didn't really want us going into the swamp. So I was like, that's sneaky, who's it?
Yeah, I thought this was going to be like it's fake, it doesn't do anything kind of reveal.
Yeah. You could only walk around in the swamp on the outside. You cannot go inside. Do not collect $200. Okay,
Right.
cool.
This is good, because it means that now I can go through the barrier after you if it turns out to be safe.
Yes.
Yeah, I figured if you both went through holding hands, I would just let you do it. And then I was like, oh shit, I should. They were supposed to each get one. Now they're splitting up. Fuck.
Well, I'm not going very far. It's only 200 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So I shouldn't look at the river. Should I not hear the river?
We don't know.
All right. How about I don't look at it? And how about I also play some music while I really don't want to start crying blood. So
I'll pull you
About
back through the
that
barrier
today?
before that happens.
all right. Oh, yeah, maybe I could just signal to you when I start crying, and then once I get pulled out, it'll be the end of it. I
Yeah,
don't know.
honestly, if you start looking like you're acting weird, I'm gonna pull you back through. Like, I'm not gonna wait for you to signal that you're unwell
Acting
in case
weird?
it's
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Which direction should I go first?
I don't know, man. Follow your heart. The middle.
Okay, but all right, sure. Maybe it's just like a thing that they made up to keep people out of the swamp. Maybe I'm not actually gonna start crying if I head towards this river. So fuck it. Let's do it.
All right.
So I'm gonna walk 200 feet straight ahead.
Okay. So you walk through the barrier. Adara, you basically see Euphoria seem to vanish momentarily and then appear, but look kind of like faded and fuzzy on the other side. Like this barrier's like looking at her through thick glass
Okay.
or soup.
Okay.
Interesting.
Euphoria,
Yeah, how do I feel?
you feel fine. You
Uh-huh.
notice as soon as you walk through, you hear the sound of weeping.
Uh-huh. Who's doing the weeping?
You can't tell. You would have to go find out.
Plot twist.
Okay.
It's you.
It's me. It was me crying the whole time.
no.
Okay, honestly, if you didn't have a pearl, it would have been you.
Yikes. Okay, cool.
But you hear weeping and realize the water is coming from your own eyes. Yeah, if you didn't have the pearl. So good job getting those pearls, girls.
Yikes. Okay, cool.
Thank you for letting us split the pearl.
Yeah. So what is it possible for me to just like lean back in so I'm like in and out of the barrier and go, I hear crying.
Yeah, you can do that.
Adara to you goes, but how do you feel about it?
I'd like to know who it is, but I don't feel like I'm gonna cry myself. Shall I go look? I doubt anybody crying's gonna be in any state to attack me, or so I hope.
Sure. I'll,
As macabre as that sounds.
yeah, that seems fine. Do you want me to stay out here? How
Yes.
confident? Okay.
Yes, stay there.
Alright.
It'll be fine.
I'll tug on the rope if I lose line of sight on you.
Sounds good. So I will head in the direction. So like I'll like shoot back into the barrier and go figure out who's crying.
Okay.
And I'm watching.
So you follow the gentle sound of weeping to a drow woman kneeling at the edge of the river. She leans close to the water and exhales. And as she does, the haggard and dying plants around you spring up with renewed energy. The woman lets her tears fall into the river as she breathes life back into the swamp. She looks up to see you watching her. Are you here to help?
Yes, I do want to help. I have some friends with me who would also like to help. My name's Euphoria.
My name is Feren.
How long have you been here, Feren?
I protect the swamp.
From what? Or whom?
From Briar Glen. From any who wish to damage it.
That's understandable. I heard that some folks from Briar Glen were coming into the swamp. Do you know anything about that?
They're killing the swamp.
Could you elaborate?
She points around her to the decay and the dead plants and shows you parts of the water. See? Pollution, death, destruction. That's what they bring to this swamp. It's beautiful, beautiful land. Destroyed by greed.
Were they doing anything specific? Were they just walking through and this happened? Or were they bringing stuff with them?
They cut things down. They massacre wildlife. They leave waste. They poison the earth.
So currently in the town, there are several women who are under the effect of a very, very powerful spell. Was that something that you did? Or is that somebody else's handiwork?
They wish to protect the swamp. And speaking of Adara, you see Nell walking your way towards the barrier. Like in a trance.
Fuck. Can I still see Euphoria?
Euphoria's walked a little bit away, but you can make out like her figure.
Okay. Can I see that she's talking to someone?
Well, make a perception check.
Sure. 14?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's standing, and it's Euphoria, so you assume she's talking.
Fair. Okay.
But her body is blocking Feren's, basically, so you
Okay.
can't see anyone she's talking
Yeah.
to.
Then I'm going to tug on the rope because I said that was my like I've lost sight of you thing. So I do that, but then I'm going to like turn and kind of try to interact with Nell.
Okay.
Like if she's walking in, I try to like kind of intercept her and see if I can get a reaction out of her.
How are you trying to intercept her?
Move between her and whatever her destination seems to be, and then see if I can get like eye contact or a reaction, or like if I try to actually talk to her and say like, hey, What's she doing?
She doesn't react to your words,
Mm-hmm.
but as you move in front of her, you see that her feet keep walking, even though you've prevented her forward momentum.
Okay. Does she react at all to being, like, touched?
No.
Okay.
Yes, actually. She stares at you again and says, if she dies, we all die. And then goes back.
All right, good talk. So Euphoria seems to be fine. She seems to be talking to someone. So I'm going to walk with Nell wherever she's going.
Okay.
I hope it's in the direction that Euphoria is.
In fact, it is.
Okay.
So she goes to the barrier and just walks right through.
Okay. I follow.
Okay. As soon as you walk through, you also hear crying. And now you can see the river and a couple areas of dead plants. And you can see Euphoria clearly.
Hey.
Hey. Oh. What's Nell doing?
You see Nell just walk straight to Feren.
So, would you mind explaining this to us? Why is she coming to you? I thought you said someone else was protecting the swamp.
I protect the swamp.
So it's just you protecting the swamp.
Oh no. Nell, Dorona, Brala, they all help by taking the life of those they love so the swamp can live. They bring it here to me. And you see Nell hold her hand, and their hands seem to glow. And Feren touches the ground and cries. And from her hands and her tears, parts of the swamp seems to heal.
Okay. So did they willingly agree to this? Or did you suggest it to them?
Of course they agreed.
Can I make an insight check? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe or trust her.
Why not?
Because that's my friend.
Oh, yikes. Woof, that's an 11.
It's a 21 for me.
Yes, so you get the idea that they agreed, but probably didn't really know what they were getting into.
Mm.
At least Nell didn't. Nell and Briala didn't know.
Nell and who?
You didn't meet Briala.
Okay.
But Nell and some of the other women didn't really know what they were getting into.
Okay. I feel like I would probably say something here. I'm just trying to formulate what it would be.
Okay.
So, upon hearing this person say, like, of course they agreed, Idara would say, yeah, I don't think they agreed to this. As she sort of, like, gestures to the husk of a person that Nell currently is.
Well, she agreed to save the swamp. She agreed to just take a bit from her love to do so. Once the swamp is healed, it'll stop.
When's the swamp going to be healed?
I'd like to ask you a favor.
You may ask your... Oh.
If you
Go
can get the townsfolk to agree to each give a bit of their life force and no longer advance into my territory, the swamp will be healed. Everyone goes back to normal. I live in my world and they live in theirs, and neither the two shall meet.
A bit of their life force, like they go into a trance for 5 days every full moon?
No, just one ritual. They lose 5 minutes. They'll never miss it.
What does that do to their longevity of their lives?
They miss 5 minutes of their life.
Because currently we have a woman missing 6 months of her life, being bedridden. Nell's been like this how long, Idara?
Months. Well, this has been weeks, I guess. She's been trancing on and off for months, apparently.
As for Darona's wife, Darona got a little overzealous draining her. I believe they had an argument of some sort. She came to me and asked if I could erase her memory of the entire thing. So I did. She believes she's in a perfectly happy marriage. I'm sure when her wife wakes up, she'll have an unpleasant reminder, but that's neither here nor there, nor my responsibility. She's new to her power. It's hard for her to maintain. And draining someone in anger always nasty results. Nell here and some of the others, they're tired. They've been doing this so long, draining just a little bit of their partners, but the burden of carrying that much life force every month for months, it's heavy. I'm sure they'd like it to stop.
I'm sure they would.
Can you get the town to agree to this?
How long do we have to get everybody to agree to it?
Take all the time that you need. I'll just continue my work.
How... Never mind. I want to think more on what question I want to ask before I say anything.
Dara, do you want to speak privately for a moment?
Yeah.
Will you excuse us?
Of course.
Mighty kind of you. And then we will walk like 20 feet away.
As you look, you see she continues to take essence from Nell and put it into the ground.
That ain't right.
The only thing stopping me from killing her is what Nell said.
Well, yeah, if she dies, they all die.
Mm-hmm.
So, you think she's at, you know what?
The boo hag we've been warned about?
Shh. But yeah.
I think we're... I don't think that's a forbidden word.
Oh.
So, I want us to have a counter argument. I don't want to just take her deal.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to say.
Well, you know maybe a little bit more about the town than I do. Are there farmers in town that are good at propagating? Because what might be better, it will take longer, and it's not magic, but I think maybe we can get her to agree to allow those who are more agriculturally inclined to willingly give their time in helping her restore it mechanically as opposed to magically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a small town. They've got farmers.
Yeah. So, like,
or else they
So
wouldn't
there's
have
more-
food.
yeah.
There's more like fishing than farming. It's hard to farm on like oh my god, I just blanked on the word.
Swampland?
Marsh.
It's the type of like land that the roots float. I've like literally jumped on it. It's springy. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll think of it when it's not important.
Are you talking about like a peat bog? Mangrove?
Mangroves.
Well, I mean, there would be some farmers, or we can help take the time to teach people how to help her restore it, and they're willingly giving their time to do it.
Or she can.
Or she can.
Yeah, I can't agree to convincing the town to give up their life force for this.
Yeah, I think what would be a better show of goodwill will be putting some backbone and elbow grease into what they've done.
I also think everyone who's in her coven, is that what this is?
I have no idea.
All of the women who fall into a trance for 5 days out of every month and can't remember what they're doing or why need to be taken out of that. That needs to stop permanently, and they need to have their memories back of what happened.
Yeah, for certain.
And then if they decide they want to continue, that's on them, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I think everything needs to be fully explained to them because they didn't understand what they were doing.
Yeah, I know Nell didn't know what she was getting into with this.
All right.
Okay.
So we're agreed.
You should do the talking.
I also have a great magical item that allows me to talk to Faye. Well, is she considered Faye at this point?
That is a good question.
Or
roll me an Arcana check.
Because I want to use the amulet that gives me advantage on persuasion checks with Faye. So that is a 16 total.
She is not a fae.
Dang.
Damn it.
You should still be the one to talk to her.
Yeah,
because considered a fiend.
Yikes. All right.
A new development.
Interessant. Okay.
We're tieflings. We can't judge too hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just saying that it was an interesting development. All right. Cool. Let's go back, talk to friends, and sort this out. All right. So we've had a chat, and we would like to make a counter offer. So, what we would like to ask is that the women who are currently under this life force spell are removed from it.
Obviously.
So that they can make a decision whether or not they want to give you their own life force to help heal the damage that's been done. However, for the rest of the town, we would like to propose that there are folks who come in that had done the damage, and they put a little elbow grease and hard work into mechanically restoring the area and not be done with the magical means. Because the damage that they have done was not magical. It was all manual and mechanical. There are fishers who would be able to clean up the river. There are a few farmers who would be able to help you propagate plants and restore them to the way that they were. It's not going to be an immediate thing, but it at least gives the townsfolk a choice or the ability to undo what they did in the way that they caused the damage.
So these people who've spent centuries murdering and destroying my land, you suggest that I invite them in to murder and destroy in a positive way. I think you can see how that's unacceptable.
Do you know how long a human lives?
There will be no fishing, no cultivation here.
No,
the swamp is wild.
That's not what I was saying. What I was saying was they can clean up the mess that they made mechanically. If they've polluted and thrown trash in the river, they can pick it up. If they've damaged plants, they can learn how to propagate plants from you by pollination and sort of diversifying the plant material and putting it back. It's not propagating by a vegetative means. If they've got to go around with paintbrushes and pollinate plants, then that's what they got to do.
Let me ask you, if either of you was murdered by someone, me, maybe, would you want me to come make your corpse look pretty? Or maybe put your head back on your body and have you walk around? Or would you want justice? A life for a life? That's all I want. I'm not asking to kill everyone who hurt the swamp. I just want a little bit of life. Why is that so hard? I'll remove the curse from your friends. It's not even a curse. They did it willingly, but if that's what it takes to get them to agree. But please tell your mayor that the former mayor will wake up as soon as I get just a little bit of life. I think I've earned it.
How about you remove the curse from our friends and restore their memories, and we'll use them to help us talk to the town. And then we'll see what happens.
Adara.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea. Can I talk with you privately for another moment?
Fine.
Is this how the two of you always negotiate?
No, I just had an idea that I need to confer with my friend about. I'll be back in a tick.
All right. Trot over.
You're still getting what you want at the end of the day, so I don't know why you're hemming and hawing, ma'am. Yeah, but before I walk away, and goes, we can't die for a year. Right? No, I'm not saying fight her. I'm saying we can't die, right? Mm-hmm. How much life force does she actually need? If we can't die, couldn't we just get it over with?
I'm not giving her my life for this swamp.
We can't die, Dora.
Isn't it? She said it was like 5 minutes, so it's like a timeline thing. So she'll just shave it off the end. Like what?
She said that like it's 5 minutes
Per person for a whole town.
How many people are in the town?
I guess that's a good question.
Like 75.
5 minutes. Hang on.
5 minutes times 75. Quick.
Yeah.
Someone get out a calculator.
Is that 3,500 or 350?
375.
There, math.
She really doesn't need a whole lot.
Wait, yeah. What? 375 minutes? That's like
Oh,
what,
sorry.
5 hours?
I didn't do it by seconds. Sorry. I should have done that by seconds, right?
Why?
Oh no, it's fine. No, I did it right. So, yeah, why can't we just get this done and over with?
Yeah, that's like 5 or 6 hours total that she needs.
Yeah. I'm
Wait.
fine with that. Shit.
I'm still not. Fuck her.
I mean, she's gonna be a stick, for lack of a better phrase, stick in mud about, teaching people why it's wrong to do this in the first place, which honestly would save her a whole bunch of grief anyways, because humans don't live very long and she's gonna be here for fucking ever.
Yeah, what's with hags not understanding that like humans, the same ones who do a thing hundreds of years ago are not the same ones you're interacting with now. Like they get that they're different people, right? Because so far we're 2 for 2 for them being like, we're humans for the past centuries, and like that's not how this fucking works.
Well, in all fairness, the humans are still doing the thing.
Sure,
in
I don't
this
care.
one.
Idara's mad.
And increasing the thing.
All right,
Idara's
well,
mad. She thinks she's right.
okay, well, guess what? Your friend's a teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do teachers do? Teach. So we can take the time to make books to why they don't go in the swamp or do the things they do, and pass those books down to their families so they don't make the same mistake again. And somebody else isn't gonna have to come in here and give 5-6 hours of their life. And they can expand in other directions.
So your new suggestion is undo the curse /spell /deal or whatever on all of the people who made it.
Yep.
Restore their memories.
Yep.
We forgot to say that last time.
Yep.
She takes a little over 6 hours of life from...
I'll do it.
Yeah, it was like people who are physically present currently.
Yeah, it was my suggestion. I'll do it.
Okay. And then we go back to the town and we explain to them to knock it the hell off.
Correct. And they've written it down in books, and every household gets a book that they pass down for generations.
Okay. Sure.
Since I am full of faculties, and it's not going to take... It's a lot easier to do it this way, because then we're not really on a time limit, and if someone in the town doesn't want to give up 5 minutes, then we're not going to waste time doing that. So
yeah, convincing 75 people sounds like a lot. First of all,
and
second of all,
also
is bullshit. Third of all,
and also, like, I'm here anyways, and what's 6 hours to me when I'm old, right?
Oh, I thought you meant now.
What?
Never mind.
Like, if it's at the end of my life, if that's what we're assuming is, or what's the time to me now versus later?
I guess, yeah. If you're really okay with it, that sounds like the best option.
If I wouldn't have mentioned it if I wasn't okay with it.
Okay. I am on the record as saying that it fucking sucks. But I'm, gonna let you make your own decisions, so.
I mean, again, I'm here. I have my full faculties. I can make the decision. The other people in the town can't make that decision, or it would take a really long time to come to a consensus when we can just fix this now and people stop hurting.
I do think you need to get as much information as you can about how this life-draining process works, because what happened to everyone else is they thought they knew what they were getting, and then they agreed to something, and then it turned out different. So let's not repeat that.
Nope.
Cool.
All right. So we go back. New deal.
Hello again.
Hello.
So we've sweetened the pot for you, actually. So you'll be rather pleased. Instead of us taking the time and going and trying to convince all 75 people of the town to give up 5 minutes of their time, you can have 6 hours of my life.
Why would you bother convincing everyone in the town when you could just have the mayor throw a party and order them, or make it part of everyone get drunk and just do it?
Because consent is important. Newsflash.
We are offering you a pretty solid deal. Please stop saying things that make me want to punch you. That's all I ask. That's all I want, is for you to stop being such a fucking idiot. Please.
She really bristles at that.
Yeah. Now you know how we feel.
We're trying. So, as also part of this agreement, because, like I said, I'm here, I have my full faculties, I can have a conversation with you about what it's going to cost me, really what it's going to cost me to give you 6 hours of my life to restore the damage that's been done. And to boot, this woman here that you currently have under your spell is a teacher. And we have conversed, and Idara and I have conversed, and what's going to happen when we've returned to town, when everybody has their full faculties, is we're going to have a book made about why people do not go in the swamp and what has happened here today. And every household is going to have one. And that is a book that's going to be an heirloom that's passed down through the generations.
She kind of looks at Nell and goes, I didn't know you were a teacher.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you ask people fucking questions. Like, it's been a long time since you've been around people, I can tell that for sure.
Well, Dorona was working on the barrier problem, which would, solve that situation.
What do you mean by the barrier problem?
Oh, don't worry about it. Anyway,
no. We're going to worry about it. No, because we're putting everything on the table.
We're trying this radical new thing called honesty.
She kind of smiles. How quaint. So you would willingly, a stranger, give up 6 hours of your life for people you barely know to heal this land. It's
yes,
worth
I would.
that much to you. We could use more women like you. You'll go to sleep. You won't feel a thing.
So am I losing... Well, I guess it doesn't matter at the end of the day, but is it 6 hours of my life currently, and it doesn't take off at the end of my life? It's just I'll have 6 hours missing?
I'm not really sure how it works out, but I will take 6 hours of your life from you. 6 hours of your life essence.
Okay, so when you put it that way, that just means that it's coming off the end of the line. So when I'm...
Well, if you have an untimely death, it won't even come into effect.
Right,
if you're
but...
stabbed, you're an adventurer. You could be stabbed or fall off a high rock or something.
I could drown. I could do a whole bunch of different things, but I intend on living a full and happy life and dying when I'm old.
Well, then yes, this would be 6 hours before that.
Yeah. Okay.
So prepare.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm here.
I will ask a clarifying question. Given the recovery time that everyone else seems to have had to go through while carrying essence of life or what have you, how long do you honestly expect Euphoria's recovery time from this to take?
Honestly, if she lets me drain her, she'll be good after a full night's sleep.
Insight check.
Do it.
Do I believe her? Yeah, I feel like we need to apologize to Jess,
sorry,
who
Jess.
was in chat.
The last hag they met was...
Our last hag was a very mean, rude hag.
Yeah.
So we are biased. Oh my god.
I think this hag is a very nice hag.
All right, insight check. That is a 22.
Yeah, she seems on the up and up.
All right. Just give Euphoria a nod.
Okay. Ready when you are, sugar.
So to be clear, the women, Briala, Nell, everyone else, Darona's wife, they're all recovered as I have no more need for them. The swamp is healed.
They're recovered with their memories back.
Well, not Darona. She specifically requested not to have her memories.
Everyone else, though.
I mean, I can give her memories of working with me, just not of the fight.
Yeah.
She specifically asked to forget that fight. It was very painful.
I think that's fine. That's good job recognizing someone else's autonomy.
You made a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, get comfy.
Yep, so Euphoria will just sit down. Oh, before you lay your hands on me and do your magic business, what's with the barrier?
The barrier. Well, you got through the barrier just fine.
No, you said that there was an issue with the barrier that needs to be addressed. So
Well, that doesn't need to concern you.
Does it though? It does.
Let's
Give
say
me a persuasion
it does.
check.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I assist because I've been talking also?
Yes, you may.
Yay.
Oh, okay. I rolled an 18, so that's a
You
25.
rolled a 9, so you're fine.
Yeah, I got a 25.
Was that with advantage?
No, do you want me to see what I get with advantage?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was way better because I just rolled a 9.
Okay, cool.
We'll take my 25 and run with it.
So, well, you said that I should get to know people again, and I quite agree. And that's why Darona's been slowly eroding the barrier for me.
But you had a problem. Hang on. You had a problem with getting to know folks by allowing people to come in and help undo the damage that their ancestors have done and what they've been doing currently.
Only those who want to help the swamp may come in, yes.
Euphoria just does a really heavy sigh and goes, if you had mentioned this at the start, that would have been helpful, because now we wouldn't be here. But I don't care. I've made my decision. I'm going to sit down and deal with it.
You don't want to help the swamp?
I do want to help the swamp. However, we could have solved this the way I was trying to solve it the first time.
Which was?
Allowing people to come in and help you clean it up.
Well, it's not for them to come in. It's for me to leave.
Oh, so you intend to leave the swamp?
Not permanently, just to visit. You said I should get to know people. They don't belong in here. I like to travel. Need to stretch my legs. I've been trapped in here for too long.
Okay. All right.
It's a two-way barrier, you see.
Couldn't you leave at any time?
No.
Not with one of these?
That lets people in. It doesn't let me out. They told folks the barrier was made to keep them safe. It was made to keep me here.
And who put you here?
The Pernons.
Why'd they put you here?
They were scared.
Okay.
Of you?
Isn't everyone afraid of what they don't understand?
All right.
All right. Well, that seems like follow-up questions for the Pernas.
Yeah. I've made my decision. You'll have 6 hours of my life. The swamp will be good as new. And maybe what we can do is we can talk to the Pernons and go through their magic knowledge to try to keep the barrier up, to not undo the work I've done with you in restoring the swamp, but will allow you to come and go as you please, but keep the barrier up to keep them out.
Oh, I like that.
It may take time, but it allows you to come and go. It protects the swamp, and it'll be like a reserve area for the wildlife.
I appreciate
For the
that.
plants.
Thank you. I really could use a girl like you. Anyway, lay back. Get comfy.
All right.
She kind of looks at Adara and says, do you want to take Nell home? Or are you staying?
I will once you're done.
It's
I
all
hope you've
right.
got a
You don't
book.
need to stay.
I'm not leaving you here.
I'll be fine. Nell's gonna be tired anyways.
Okay, I'm still not leaving. Thanks for your consideration.
I mean, Ophelia's right here. She's fine. She can sit, watch.
Ophelia is not gonna be very helpful.
Ophelia's right here.
She's been making daisy chains for the past 45 minutes.
I just assumed she didn't go into the swamp. How silly of me.
No.
I could have been addressing her this whole time.
She's heard none of this conversation.
Yeah.
So, Adara, are you going to stay?
Yeah.
Okay. Euphoria, you lie down
Yeah.
and immediately fall into a deep sleep.
Uh-huh.
Adara, what are you doing for 6 hours?
Just watching her.
Okay.
Hi.
Oh, hey, speak
were just
of
talking.
Ophelia, and she will return.
Oh wait, no, I moved all the
Hi.
cameras around so you can't actually see ink.
Oh, hang
It's
on.
okay. I'm not sick anymore. What happened?
You have been making daisy chains for 6 hours.
You know what? It's in character though.
There we go. There they are.
Hello, I'm here. I laid down and now I am no longer sick. Here I am.
And you've made tons of daisy chains.
Yes, they are just covering my body.
Have you heard any of what was going on?
No.
Excellent.
Okay. So
Also in character.
you see Euphoria sleeping on the ground
Okay.
while a drow woman has a hand on top of her, seemingly calm. And you see Nell and Adara just kind of hanging out. Adara is still like staring in space and seems to be trying to walk away, like
Nell
walk
is.
back. Nell is, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I
was
assumed you were
if Dara's
stopping
staring
her.
into space. We're having a bad
Yeah.
time here.
No, so Adara has like one arm just sort of linked with Nell's, and then is just like staring directly at the drow woman.
Okay. And
Okay,
Nell's
so-
just kind of walking in place.
Yep.
Okay, so what did I miss with the drow woman? Like, what's going on?
Oh my god, so much.
I'm so sorry. I was laying
No,
down.
it's okay.
Okay.
So Ophelia, let's say, just sort of sidles up to Adara, who summarizes briefly. So that's a hag. She's taking 6 hours of Euphoria's life force to restore the swamp because people were killing the swamp, and her original offer was to trick everyone in the town to giving up life force, which is what she was doing anyway, sort of, but she wanted our help with it. So this is what we're doing instead, is it's just Euphoria, and then we're gonna go back to town and be like, hey, stop fucking with the swamp. And that will, that was enough for her to agree to, like, unenchant all of the women in town who have been enchanted.
Okay, so like, why? I'm gonna like point it now. Like, why is she still like?
I think she's gonna do that after, is my best guess, which is
okay.
another reason why I'm still here.
So essentially, I left, and then you guys resolved all of it. Nice.
And you see glowing coming from Feren, the drow woman's hand, almost as if a transfer of energy is coming from Euphoria from one hand and then the other as she puts it into the earth itself.
Okay.
And from her hand, you see healing energy.
Okay, I was concerned because I'm like, if she's just siphoning energy, I was just like, my man, vicious mockery. But no, apparently we're not doing that now.
Yeah, well, we did also get warned by Nell multiple times that if she dies, presumably meaning the hag, then they all
everybody
die.
else dies. Yeah, I could have done non-lethal mocking damage. Okay.
So, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so I'm gonna like lean over the door and be like, so what do I do about this? Just like let it happen.
Yeah, we're here for the next 5 hours and 45 minutes.
That's a lot of time. Should I go back to making daisy chains?
Probably. I think you're gonna get bored otherwise.
Okay. And like while Euphoria is laying on the ground, I'm gonna just keep like I'm gonna start sprinkling them on her. I left, and now you're gonna get a blanket of daisies.
Amazing.
So, Euphoria, you almost feel like you have sleep apnea because you are sleeping and then you'll suddenly choke and then fall asleep again. What's actually happening is you're being repeatedly drained to 0 hit points. And then you start to heal a bit due to your pact with the god of death. And then you are immediately drained to 0 again.
So she would have like
See, not
killed
dying
us.
is great.
She would have like, killed us if we didn't do that. Great, I love that for us.
Well, she was just going to take a little bit from everyone in the town, but Euphoria wanted to do it all herself. And
Technically, Euphoria said that the 3 of us have a pact with death and we could all offer some life, and Adara said, fuck no, and Ophelia wasn't there to make a decision for herself. So it turned into just Euphoria.
Yeah.
Whip.
So after 6 hours, 6 hours pass, and Adara and Ophelia, you see Euphoria every like 30 minutes or so get really pale and like gasp, choke, and then seem to go back to sleep.
The first time she does, or first time or two she does that, Adara definitely like reacts with alarm.
And Feren's just like, don't wake her.
So while everybody's gone, did you guys figure out why it's only affecting the women in the town? Did y'all
Because
figure that
tags? We didn't ask.
You didn't ask.
Yeah.
And after 6 hours, Euphoria, you start to have a really peaceful sleep. Good sleep. And now gets alert. She looks at you. Oh my gosh, Adara! What are you doing here in the swamp? You know Feren. And she hugs Feren. The swamp looks so beautiful. Oh my goodness, Adara, who are your friends?
Hey,
what's happening?
Nell, we need to talk a little bit later.
Okay. What?
Okay. I'm glad you're okay.
What are you doing in here? Oh my gosh, Tial must be so worried.
Yeah, because you were in a coma.
What?
Yeah,
No, I wasn't.
you definitely were.
And she kind of looks at Feren, and Feren's like,
Oh my god.
Shrug. What can you do?
What friend she is.
Yeah.
I feel like
So-
I just pulled the nail like where I've been gone and now I'm back and I'm like, what was going on, everybody?
But
Feren comes up to you and says, thank you. And when she wakes, thank your friend. The swamp will recover.
Great.
Now, keep them out of here.
So what was going on with the whole swamp? Like, what were
So
they
wait, does
doing to it?
Nell have her memories back of the time that she lost as well? Because that was part of
Yes.
the. Okay. So she should know that she was in a coma.
She wasn't in a coma. She could
Well,
walk.
I guess, but like she should know that she was catatonic functionally
Okay.
for like a month.
Yeah.
I was so tired. And I felt so guilty. I was draining Tial, and it felt like it would never be enough. And I started to feel so bad. I thought it would just be a little bit, but we kept needing more and more. And then it was more than I thought.
Is this at Adara or at?
At Adara.
Oh, okay.
Please
Adara
don't
just
tell him.
Adara just pulls her into a hug and says, "I'm glad you're okay. I was really worried.
It's so good to see you.
You too. But also, you probably need to talk about that at some point. I'm not gonna do it for you, but yeah.
Well, at least the swamp's saved.
Yeah, for now. We can walk and talk. Is Euphoria still asleep?
Yes.
I'll just carry her. So just, like holding Euphoria, walking, like whistle for Ophelia.
Oh no, yeah, I'm still covering her in daisies, so when you pick her up, like the daisy just blanket like falls apart and I am
no.
crushed.
Sorry, I messed up your thing. We should probably get back before it gets much darker, though.
Oh my gosh, I bet Arafir is awakened. Dorona will be so excited.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. I'll just kind of try to fill her in on, like, the major things that have happened.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave out the, big fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because it sounds like maybe she already knows about that. And I'm just not going to broach that subject. And I'm definitely going to include the part where part of our deal with her hag friend was that the entire town needs to be educated on, like, keeping the swamp healthy and also staying away from it.
Okay. Okay.
And we volunteered her for that.
Oh, also, who did you guys fight? Because I missed.
Nobody.
We fought some
They fought
bullywugs
bullywugs.
for like a round and a half.
Oh, like frogs? Big frog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big frog. I miss Big Frog.
Just as well, I can definitely teach the children. And I bet if we talk to Ilda, she could decree something with the town. They can stop expansion.
Yeah, that'd be good.
As you make your way back into town, you see people seem overjoyed. You see like women walking around, smiles on their faces, spouses like hugging them, and people running outside like saying, "They're awake, they're awake."
Cool. Looks like it worked. Can we crash at your place tonight, Nell? Euphoria's gonna need a long sleep.
Of course.
All right, thanks.
I'm just so glad you visited.
Yeah. Glad.
It's so different from the big city. It's so relaxed and quiet here. Like, it's almost boring. Nothing ever happens.
Are you sure it's relaxing? Because I do not remember anything like this happening, like, back home.
I've made some nice friends. We're like sisters.
Did you join a coven? You don't have to tell me, but it sounds like you joined a coven.
I mean, we call ourselves a coven, but we're not like really a coven. It's like a nickname.
I think you're okay.
It's like a sorority. It's about sisterhood and friendship and environmentalism.
Just checking though, you do know that the one in charge is actually a hag, right?
Okay.
I want you to make informed decisions. I'm not going to tell you what decisions to make, but I want them to be informed.
I know she's a drow and they live a really long time. It seems kind of rude to call her a hag.
I can't stress enough that she's both.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you, Henry.
Henry's like, I second that motion.
I'll have to give that a think.
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
Henry. Pick him up.
No. I know.
Yes.
Cuddle the boy. All right.
So you get back to her place. Tial is overjoyed to see you. And you see Darona and Arafira walking arm in arm out of their house.
So
Arafira comes up to you and says, "So I suppose I owe you a huge debt of gratitude."
Yeah, did you have a good talk with your wife? Just checking.
I know that we're not supposed to be going into the swamp, and then afterwards I've missed 6 months.
Yeah.
She was so worried, poor girl.
Yeah.
But we're back.
Good. Yeah. You're welcome. Hello. I'm Adara. This is Euphoria. That's Ophelia. Glad we can help.
Thank you. I can't thank you enough. I know I'm not the mayor anymore, but I'm happy to pay you if Ilda can't. We have a couple things in the Purdon Manse that I'm sure you'll enjoy.
Excellent. Adara
Sorry,
doesn't do that. Her hands are full.
Yeah, she just drops before.
Just so she can do the thing.
Just so she can do this. How many great swords can I get?
Are any of them magic?
Can I get stop?
Yeah, that'd be good. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. This one needs to sleep.
All right. So you take her into Tial and Nell's house.
Yeah.
Tial is stoked and overjoyed to see Nell back to herself. And y'all can have a good sleep.
Yay.
in the morning, Sato delivers 100 gold to you, as well as a gray bag of tricks and a wand of magic detection.
A gray bag of tricks?
Tricks!
What's that?
Ah, that's my favorite!
What is it?
So you basically, you reach inside, you pull something out. I forget, is it like wooden animals or is it balls of fur?
I think
I can't quite remember, but you basically throw it out, and then you have an animal companion
It's like
fight
Pokemon.
in battles with you. It's like Pokemon. It's like Pokemon.
Oh my god. How fun.
It's so great. And the gray one, I think, is so there's 3 different
you
colored
pull
bags.
out a fuzzy ball.
Yeah, okay. But then with the bags, so there's 3 different colors, and they have different sets of animals that you can throw out into battle. The gray one is my favorite.
You roll 1d8, and you will either get a weasel, a giant rat, a badger, a boar, a panther, a giant badger, a dire wolf, or a giant elk.
Can I
How
fight
fun.
you for that?
I don't know which you that was.
Who do you think? The one other magic user.
Yes.
Okay, we'll deal with that afterward then.
Yeah.
Deal with that in the Patreon show.
Yeah, that'll be our Patreon behind the scenes. It's just you two fighting over the bag.
Oh no,
Yes.
I was saying
we
that.
support our
no,
Patreon. I'll put it down in the thing.
I was just saying that Ophelia can have that because I have the amulet for the Fae stuff.
Okay, we'll work
Advantage
that
on
out
favor-
afterwards.
But
We
All
do
right.
have to work
Anyway,
that
yeah,
out.
and then wand of distraction. Nice.
nice.
Wand of magic detection.
Wand
not
of magic
distraction.
detection.
That's a Pugmire item.
Wait, yeah, that is a Pugmire item. Dang it.
Ophelia being
laser
able to use
pointer.
magic, wand of distraction.
All right. For people who don't watch Pugmire, in our Pugmire game, I had a wand of distraction item, which is just a laser pointer, and cats have disadvantage on a will save to get distracted by the laser pointer, and then if you fail, you have to follow the red dot that it makes. So that's what I misspoke. Anyway,
Yes, and Jess Frost, who wrote this, just put in chat, the bag has multiple uses, so you can all use it.
yay.
Now, here's the thing. If I throw a fuzzy ball at something and it hits it, does it then pop out and, like, trample them?
I mean, that sounds fun for me.
Yeah.
I want Idara to have a badger. I want her to have a badger so bad. Anyway.
So Euphoria, the next day,
Mhm.
you awaken feeling like you had a really good sleep.
Awesome. So it's over. Yay. We did it.
Idara walks into your room, like, within minutes of you waking up and just says, you slept a normal amount of time. I just want that to be clear because I don't know if Ophelia is going to try to, like, say something silly, like you were asleep for 10 years. It was a
I'm
normal
not that
night.
mean. I hear that from the other room. Like, I'm not that mean. People I like. Trust me with nothing. Nothing.
I'm glad y'all were concerned, but I'm good. I feel great.
Good.
Did anything weird happen while I was out?
I mean, everyone who was in a coma is out of a coma. So that's good.
I covered you in daisies.
Yeah, Ophelia covered you in daisies. That ritual took 6 hours. And yeah, we got paid and told Nell that the part of the deal was that the town would stay out of the swamp and would be nice to it and that she would help spread the word. I also told her that she joined a coven. She seemed a little unclear on if I was joking or not.
Oh, do you want me to tell her that you weren't joking?
I think I got through to her. It just took a bit.
Because I'd be more than happy to explain, considering I gave up 6 hours of my life for a damn town.
I mean, to be fair, if we didn't sleep like tieflings, like we would be wasting 6 hours of our life like every day anyway.
Yeah, you're welcome to talk to her if you want. I do think that I got through to her.
Oh, we should also have a conversation with Piernes about making a two-way.
Yeah.
So I think that we should do that and get that sorted before we leave.
Sounds good.
Tial kind of just opens your door and goes, breakfast?
Yeah.
I made eggy toasties.
Oh my god.
Did you also...
Why did you let your friend marry this man?
She
Is there
likes him. He's
bacon?
cute.
He calls them eggy toasty.
It's fun.
It's cute.
You're not the one who's married to him. You don't have to like it.
Zan just said eggy in a basket.
No.
Well,
Tial's a himbo. His pronouns are him, bo.
Alright, cool. Yeah. It's gonna be the best breakfast ever. It's gonna
It
taste
is a really
great.
good breakfast.
Is this the first time that we've like canonically eaten something too?
You have a lot of dried fruit.
We had food
Session 0.
Yeah, session
Yeah,
0.
the level 0 adventure. had a lot of food.
I mean, yeah, first session, yeah.
So it's been about 3 months since we've had food.
And this is really good. Like runny eggs,
Yeah.
buttered toast,
Bacon.
bacon, fish.
Good.
You make a good eggy toasty.
Thanks, I like them dippy.
Ah!
I hate it. Yes, please tell me you're on this already.
That's what they call them in Pittsburgh. They call them dippy eggs.
What?
What?
Yeah, they don't
I've
call them
never
runny
heard
eggs
this.
here. Yeah, they call them dippy eggs. But they're really good.
Yeah, but it makes it sound so much more disgusting.
Because you dippy your toast in the egg.
I mean, I guess when you think about it, like runny is also a terrible word to describe eggs.
Yeah,
It's just said I'm worried for Pittsburgh.
you should be.
You live on the other side of the world. You don't have to worry about us.
All right.
So after your breakfast, you know the Pernins are right next door, so you can go over there if you want.
Oh yeah, this also, before I forget, this goes without saying, like, Ophelia's trying to make sure that Euphoria's not gonna immediately, like, fall over after she stands up and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
I don't
She
know how that
seems
works.
fine.
Maybe you're just, like, magic drunk. I don't know.
I'm not. I'm perfectly fine.
Sometimes people who aren't fine say that they're fine.
Don't you get started too. All right, yeah, let's go talk to the former mayor.
Wait, yeah, is that like a legal? That doesn't matter. I don't care about this town's mayorship. It's fine.
It almost
Ophelia
sounds
said,
like you
"Fuck
did
the
care.
government."
I had a moment-
The government.
I had a moment where I wasn't sure if like a coup had happened, and then I realized it's not my problem.
Well, also, yeah, you need a military to have a coup d'état.
But like, I don't know, something
Is it
like
a coup? Is it a coup if you get permission from the person in charge to take over the town?
But you
She
didn't.
was in a coma, so she couldn't really get permission.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was in a coma. So just now there's a new mayor, but she's acting like there's a new mayor, and she's not still the mayor. It doesn't matter though. Just that's all.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we put that on a shirt too? Thanks, I like him dippy.
No.
Like, just put that on a notebook. I want to take that out in class and have everyone be like, I'm sorry, the what?
Okay, before the stream totally dissolves into
Yes.
this is a preview of what the Patreon videos are like. So Sarah opens the door and is overjoyed. They're both back. Our Pharaoh's back. Thank you. I can't believe it. You've done it. You've done it. Thank you. And he tries to hug Idara. So I'm sorry. I forgot myself.
No, it's. Do you want a hug? It's fine. I have a reflex.
No, the parlance will see you in the parlor. Please do come in.
I have a reflex, an antisocial reflex.
He was like, the moment has passed. I no longer want to give you a hug after that.
All right. I'll just clap him on the shoulder as we walk by and say thanks. You were helpful.
That's what I try. And after a few moments, Arafira and Dorona enter the room. So our heroes. Thank you so much. You've saved Briar Glen.
Well, we're here because we needed to have an additional conversation.
More
about
money?
I'm sorry?
More money?
No. No. Our friend in the swamp would like to be able to come and go as she pleases.
Dorona at that goes, oh, I know. I'm working on completely removing the barrier.
Well, there's an alternative to doing that. Can't we just make her another one of these that just lets her in and out freely? And you keep the barrier up and protect the swamp?
And at this, Arafira kind of looks confused. Goes, what is that?
So this was something, I guess... Did you make this? And I look at her wife. Did you make?
And Dorona goes, no. Ferenn gave it to me. After I proved my friendship to her.
So Euphoria's just gonna, crank her head at Idara.
So I was under the impression
so that we could see her, but she still can't leave.
Yeah, I was under the impression that it was for the weeping sound and the river and not the barrier.
No, it gets you through the barrier.
Oh, okay. So point being, your family made the barrier, right?
And Arafira nods.
So if there's a way to make it so that it seems like currently people can go through the barrier if they are friendly to the swamp?
Well, I don't know anything about that, but...
Okay. Well, point being, if there's a way to let her in and out while still keeping the barrier up, then that's what she would prefer. Apparently, we don't know if that's possible.
I'm honestly disappointed that we can't remove the barrier entirely and expand into the swamp, but I understand that that's no longer on the table.
No.
Yeah. Okay, just to be clear, that is the thing she had beef with.
No,
and that's why all of this was happening. Okay. As long as
I did not...
Very I didn't do that shit for nothing.
Yeah, I gave up 6 hours of my life to restore the whole swamp.
Oh yeah, you guys didn't hear the part about where she wanted us to trick the entire town into giving up their own life to restore the swamp. So I'm just letting you know that was a thing she thought was on the table.
And at this, Arafira looks horrified and Dorona's kind of like, yeah, cool. Seems fair.
Do we need to have a conversation with you about...
Consent.
Yeah.
Consent is key.
And then the two women notice that they both kind of had opposite reactions and give each other we'll talk about this later.
Ophelia Ophelia like looks at like the two women, and I'm just like, you guys have literally every other direction you can move in. Why are you going that way?
Yeah.
This Verona just says, well, I think if I look through the old permanent textbooks and I get together and I work with Varen and we really examine some of the pearls, we could find a way to devise it so that she could go through the other way. I'm sure we can find something. And Arafira looks really confused. And Dorona just kind of looks at her and goes, oh, yes, I've been studying for quite some time.
So, to Afira, Euphoria's just going to address her. So, a long, long time ago, your ancestors had an issue with a drow woman who you now tell the children in town is a boo hag, and they basically encased her in the swamp. So the swamp is her home, and has been for some time, just because your family didn't understand her, which is rude. But because the swamp is her home, that barrier is basically like her fence, and she should be able to come and go as she pleases. But she should be in charge of allowing people to enter her home, just like you allow us to enter your home.
I see your point.
And when you want to expand into the swamp, you're basically telling her you want to demolish her home and build on top of it, which isn't right or fair.
I do see how that would come across as rude. I just thought the whole hag thing was, a local saying.
Y'all really gotta stop saying that.
Yeah. It's a little bit rude. Even if she does have really powerful magic, I don't think that her being locked up in a swamp for a really long time just because your family members didn't understand her, I don't think that's right. She wants to be able to leave the swamp. She wants to be able to interact with people again. It's very clear that she hasn't had much contact, if at all. So you will need to mind your P's and Q's when she comes to visit.
Sounds doable. And Dorona's like all for it. She's like, yeah. She's like looking through books already. Like, yes, we can make this happen.
Cool. Another part of it is Nell's gonna make sure that every family in town has a book about the events that just happened. And those books are going to get passed down so nobody else has to go through what we've been through within the last 24 hours. And for your town, the past, 6 months, year, however long it's been happening.
You go, oh, I like that girl, Nell. She's a good teacher. The kids like her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we wanted to have the conversation about.
Well, thank you so much. You've done this town a huge service. We can't repay you. I mean, we did pay you something, but you've done more than we could possibly even describe. And Dorona hugs her wife. Says, thank you for bringing me my aura back.
You're welcome.
Adara nods uncomfortably.
Ophelia's like, I'm not serious enough to have this conversation. Like, y'all negotiating terms, and she's just like, yeah, I made daisy chains for 6 hours.
6+, because there was the time you spent before the ritual started.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is correct, yeah.
So that's the bits of information we wanted to leave y'all with. So if you don't need us, we will take our leave now.
Well, thank you so much again. Don't let the hag ride you.
And then, like, before they leave, Ophelia's gonna be like, you guys gotta stop saying that.
You'll need to curb that.
And it also sounds like so wrong.
After leaving Briar Glen to return to your normal lives of, going to the next place, you watch for news of the town. Days turn to weeks, and you hear the swamp is flourishing with new life and more people visiting. The economy booms with more traders visiting than ever, and adventurers can travel through the swamp relatively unharmed.
We made the Everglades. They're a tourist attraction.
Oh, before we leave town.
Oh, and your pearls are each a potion of greater healing.
Nice.
What? Hell yeah!
Before we officially leave town, I would like to check back in with the child and go, yeah, you have your teacher back. We don't need to play that out.
Thank you.
We kept our promise. We kept our pinky promise. So now you'll be able to go back to school, which is important.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be an adventurer, you have to be in school and get book smart.
Idara also leans over and says, like, also you gotta hold your sword like this, and just sort of like fixes her grip.
She's like really stoked about that. She's like, yeah, adventure.
And then right before we leave town, I have something else I want to do.
Okay.
So Euphoria kind of addresses Ophelia and Adara and goes, well, so it's that time of year where back in my hometown, we have a celebration where we take the time to give small tokens and appreciate our friends. So I have something for each of you. So she turns to Adara and goes, I didn't know which one you'd like more, so I got you both. So she hands to Adara a necklace with a greatsword pendant. And then I had your friend from the last place we were in make this. I know he normally doesn't do trinkets and stuff, but for potions or things that have like metal caps on them, she hands you like an opener, and it's in the shape of your teeth that you can pop stuff off with.
That's so fun. Idara looks at both of these and then just goes, fuck, I didn't know I was supposed to get you a gift.
No, it's fine. You don't need to. It's something really nice. I wanted to do.
This is really nice. Thank you. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
It's like a coworker's like, here you go, Merry Christmas, and you're just like, I didn't know we were friends like that, but okay.
Yeah, like the day before everyone goes on holiday, and you're just like, bullshit.
Yeah.
No. All right. Yeah. Thank you. These are things.
These are things.
No, these are thanks. She's the thanks.
Oh, thanks.
Sort of like thinks on it for a second, and then like gives Euphoria a hug.
Yep.
Like,
so Euphoria will give you a hug. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then she turns to Ophelia and she goes, I know how much you love your dresses, but I will admit I'm a little tired of mending them all the time. So I had this specially made for you that you can take on and off yourself. So she hands you a bundle, and it's basically what it is. It's adventuring clothes. So it's like a really nice adventuring outfit with like a blouse and pants, but then there's like a detachable like floofy skirt. So you can wear it while it's while you're in town, and then you can like take it off, fold it up, put it in your backpack, and then you're wearing pants while we're tromping through the woods.
A skirt. You gave her a skirt.
Yeah, basically. Yep. So happy Valentine's Day from Euphoria to you.
Okay, Lena's gonna like give you a hug and then like pull up the Phoenix Bloom and like have the Phoenix Bloom like stand near your face and like do like a little kiss motion.
Give the Phoenix Bloom some fertilizer. There you go. Everybody's happy now.
Aww.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. I know this is kind of not what everybody does for their Valentine's Day, but this is what we do. So
you dressed up for it.
We did.
Yeah.
None of us are wearing red, and then I'm just wearing a lot of sparkly things.
You're wearing a date outfit for Adara.
Yeah, I am. It's the leather jacket that I'm just like, in character.
I'm Jess. you can, this is my channel, and you can subscribe if you want to watch older episodes of this or older episodes of Princesses Save Dragons, the finale of which is this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Ooh.
So check that out. They're going to a ball. And we love you. You can find me on Twitter. I write games and supplements. I just had one released in Savage Encounters of the Underdark. It's called Firefest. And you basically go to a music festival where everything is on fire and a good time is had by all.
Oh my god.
And support our Patreon. Thank you for putting that in there, Ink. Because you get access to videos made by us after this every week, and they are fun. And next week is also an adventure from Uncaged Volume 1. We are playing The Weeping Woman by Christina Sisto Kindle, who you can see this Sunday in the finale of Princesses Save Dragons. So,
promotion.
Ink, tell us who you are and what you do in real life.
Hi, I'm Ink, and in real life I get sick a lot and also draw, and sometimes play Dungeons and Dragons. You can find me on Twitter at TheseDeadPens. I'm also on the Curse of Lords podcast, and another podcast that I'm going to be doing soon with Just Pack, in which we debunk terrible fantasy tropes and sometimes the awful people that sit behind them. I'm also a best-selling illustrator now, and I did some pictures for the Wisdom Under Fire project on DM's Guild, which supports Australian wildfire relief. What else do I do? That's a really good question. I don't remember what else I do. I don't think I do anything else. So there we go.
Jesspack, what do you do?
Hi, I'm Jesspack. You can find me at HealthPackStream on Twitter. I write D&D adventures. My area of specialty are tier 4 modules. I have one in the first volume of Uncaged, and then I have 2 in Book of Seasons. So I have one in Solstices, which is a unicorn adventure. The second one that's coming out is a heavily inspired by Greek mythology. So that one's also fun. And Gwen did the art for it.
I did. And I like it a lot, and I want everyone to be able to see it.
So Gwen, tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Gwendy B all over the internet, and I draw pictures in exchange for money. So you should find me if you like pictures and or have money. But also, if you have money, maybe hit me up in like a couple months because I'm busy. I'm working on things that I can't talk about, and I've got art coming out in Book of Seasons, Equinoxes, the one that isn't that one. I have art in that one, but it's already out. The Equinoxes one is coming soon, so heads up. Full stop.
And
that's
thank you so much to Jessica Ross for writing this wonderful adventure that we only moderately destroyed.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. We love you all so very much. Oh, yes. Draz put in the thing. Uncaged Volume 4 comes out super duper soon. And there's another adventure in there by me. So, yeah, check it out. It's pretty badass.
And there's art by me. Because there's art by me in all the books, which means if you want to see my art, you got to buy all 4.
All 4.
I wasn't involved in stuff when Uncaged was made.
Book of Seasons. All right. We love you all very much. Thank you so much for joining us. Mwah. Happy Friday.
Bye.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye.